Okay, time for the recap. Everyone shut your whore mouths.
Thanks.
Bitches.
Okay.
Fuck you.
All right, here we go. Mute. 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 I've muted everyone but Jason. Fuck all of you. You can all still hear me. Last we left off, our party traversed through the dust plane. I can't believe I'm actually doing this. and they navigated their way through clouds of dust and strange creatures.
I think I might have to mute everyone as well, just so.
And now you're muted. Okay. And strange. I've muted everyone. And strange creatures. You found yourself in an underground fortress where you navigated through traps and spells and strange devices until you came across something the party didn't expect. An old enemy by the name of Zimmer. The reason you were there was to find an ally of the Cloaked Rangers, Reginald, and a friend, sort of, to a couple of the party members. Having completely forgotten, or at least decided not to do that, the party captured Zimmer and escaped the dust plane, finding themselves back in Zimmer's old base inside Direwood, where one of the party members, not pointing fingers at Blake, decided it would be best to torture Zimmer to death. And now I'm being called a bitch. He decided to torture Zimmer to death. And we pick up with me unmuting everybody, and you guys standing outside, some of you covered in blood, after the horrific torture and screams of Zimmer.
Bag being
Yeah,
late and
I
shit,
know, right?
and
Why do you have to
then,
fucking-
and then muting his entire party. Man,
Yeah,
First
what an
he's
asshole.
like, oh, hi, Holden.
Hi.
Okay,
you,
I unmuted
didn't,
everyone.
you didn't perma-mute us, so I don't think any of us heard what you said.
Well, that's not my problem.
We were just
Well-
talking shit about how fucking late you were.
And how much I love you.
Well, I
And
just
when-
told everyone what happened last time and where we left off, so.
Did you though? 'Cause
Believe it or not, I actually managed
Isaac,
to listen.
Isaac said that you weren't even live.
Oh, fuck.
He's
No,
alive.
and then I
Yes,
said
though.
he was. Fucking, did you listen?
Oof.
No.
That explains a
Yeah,
lot.
believe it
do
or
you
not,
know?
I actually absolutely heard all of that. It's one of the great things of my fucking ADHD brain is that I literally can't shut anything out. So,
Pussy, pussy, marijuana.
Pussy, 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 marijuana. So,
Cocaine,
you guys are
cocaine,
standing
cocaine,
outside
cocaine,
in the...
Molly.
Actually, I don't need anyone to roll a d12 because last time we did, and you are standing outside in pouring rain. So some of the blood perhaps being washed off of your clothes, dripping onto the ground beneath you at your feet. The smell of
Alright.
iron permeating, thank you.
Jinx.
The air, most of it being Zimmer's. Permeating. I had a stroke. What would the party like to do?
If I recalled correctly, I was on my knees praying.
I believe you were.
Six is just standing there looking out at the rain.
I'll offer that we go and find the Cloaked Rangers and let them know that we failed.
Oh fuck, that's right. Shit.
Or we could try again.
I believe that we've all done our best, and we could find something else to do with our time.
Jesus,
Somebody breathes
Ugh.
heavily.
we could at least go let them know that we couldn't find him.
Did we really
Didn't
even
look very hard, did we?
He nods towards Menon. I don't think we looked very hard.
I'm gonna
Whose
try to
fault
go
would
back.
that be?
And how exactly do you plan on going back?
Well, I mean, there was enough down there to open the portal twice, maybe 3 times.
Wasn't it some special object that we took?
Yes,
There was an object, yes.
Dusty, he was my friend.
But if there were 2, maybe there's a 3rd.
I highly doubt it, but a fairly optimistic man, and I don't think I'm going to convince you otherwise.
That's probably true.
But if you truly do think that we can go back there,
I would like to check.
Okay.
I mean, all we have to do is go back to Sam's house, right?
What's up?
Don't we just have to go back to your place and take a look around? Wasn't that all there is to it, really?
You say my house. It wasn't even my house.
Or
My house has apparently been destroyed.
was it in the middle of the street?
It was the castle.
Shut up.
Thanks, Golden.
Okay.
all right.
So it sounds
My
like
vote as we go back. What is everybody else doing?
I am not one to stray far away from my companions.
How does everyone else feel?
I feel fine. A little bit wet.
you are all quite wet.
And I'd like to clean off my tools more. Inspect them, make sure I didn't break anything.
Yeah, I'd be following Six, keeping a good distance from Zelfer.
I
Yeah,
don't see why.
I would definitely like to see if we
Get
can find
lost.
another dust moat there, Holden. If it's not possible and you want to fast forward, that's totally fine. But Six would like to check just to make sure.
Okay. So it sounds like the party would like to traverse back to the castle.
Cool.
If there's nothing there, or we can't find another orb of dust, I suggest we go and seek out the Cloaked Rangers. Conveniently,
agree.
there's a spot on the map marked Cloaked Rangers.
Yes, I agree.
They might be there.
What
We
if
can
they're
at
not?
least check. What do we find when we get there, Holden?
All right. So, well, I thought Zelfer was asking a question, but that might
Oh,
just be
sorry.
Blake being Blake.
Love it both.
Yeah. You guys traverse back to the castle. It's actually not very far. I will ping the map. You are about here. So it's only going to take about half-hour walk. The sound of heavy rain splashing about you and washing the streets. You head back to the castle, back through the gates, and back up to the castle door, where you'd send a text with a clickety-clack. And also find, oddly enough, the front door to the castle that you had burned a bit and broken somebody had broken a roughly humanoid-sized hole into, is now completely destroyed and completely torn down. The remnants of it littering the ground before you. Somebody else has been here, it would seem.
Who?
I take my finger and I rub it on the floor.
Good for you.
Blood?
You
Cool.
get splinters.
There are no. I look at it. Are there any footprints?
Roll investigation.
What if I don't want?
Then you don't have to.
I'm not good at that, Holden.
Well, then you go blind. I don't.
I'm gonna roll it, but I'm not very good at that. See, I
Oh,
told you I'm
yeah,
gonna fucking
you
go blind.
literally go blind. Okay, no. You walk
Fucking
up.
shit.
Zelfer immediately walks up, noticing the door being destroyed, kind of rubs his thumb into the ground and looks at it. Maybe tastes it a little bit. That's dirt, all right.
My thumb is dirty.
There's some mud on the ground, guys.
I taste
I'd like to.
footprints.
I'd like to kind of inspect the door and see maybe if I can find out how it was destroyed. What kind of thing destroyed it?
What destroyed it? Okay. You can roll an investigation for that as well.
YOLO. YOLO.
Okay. As a soldier, you recognize certain cuts and ways of destroying things. It looks like somebody chopped down this door quite deliberately. There are lots of splinters and clean cuts in certain places. It looks like it was a very deliberate and calculated chopping down of the door. The pieces, you also notice, like, the pieces of wood are kind of strewn about in piles rather than randomly. So it seems as though somebody did this very much on purpose, and with some sort of weapon, with some sort of cutting, slashing weapon.
Now relay this information. Would they be a large person?
There's no way to
slash
tell.
humanoid thing.
Looking with that investigation roll as well, looking around, if there were any footprints, they've been washed away by the rain.
Well, the other option we have right now is if you could try to recreate what happened, we'd know if they're your size.
Ugh. Not likely.
All right, let's build the door back up, chop it back down.
I walk inside. I don't care.
That's fine.
God,
Well, with the knowledge that somebody else has certainly been here, you guys head inside the castle. What is your plan?
to fuck shit up.
I would like to head
To blow up
To
and
the
then act
basement?
like I don't know nobody.
Hang, 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 hang. So
I
you
would like to head to
guys,
the basement.
yeah, it sounds like you guys are looking for another artifact. You're gonna head down to the dungeon once more.
Correct.
I'd like to try. I look at 6. Should we check if someone's been here and see if they with the aggression they showed towards that door? Do we want to make sure people are alive and well?
Sure. Yes,
If there
we
was
do want to do
ever
that.
anyone here.
Well, I mean, we saw people.
Yeah.
I killed one of them.
Yes, and I believe they
Where-
packed up and left as we were going into the dungeon.
But let's at least check and see if we find any bodies.
Yeah, we'll look for bodies.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, we don't find any.
So are you guys checking the dungeon or the upper, like the throne room in the main court area for bodies?
Dungeon first.
Dungeon first. You head downstairs. The Hysterium haze
Oh, wait,
is still...
sorry.
No,
Yeah,
I was gonna say, Jason, that's a dumb idea. We're gonna check
Okay.
upstairs first and then go down.
That's okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. Okay.
I see 6 walk downstairs. Why don't we check up here first so we don't have to backtrack?
I would like... Assuming, is everybody in on this then? Everybody's looking about?
Yes.
Isaac, are you here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You've just been quiet. I was just double checking, sorry. I would like 2 players of your guys' choosing to roll perception for me with advantage because others are aiding them.
Not it.
Devs,
I'll do
I
it.
got proficiency.
I don't.
Oh, with
I need
advantage.
one more.
Nice.
I'm working on it. We're getting there.
What's the?
He got a 24 out of 23. He got
My- my
24 and a
windows,
13. Okay. Percival, you start checking out the main hall, looking around. There doesn't seem to be any signs of any blood, any struggle, any bodies. You don't find much. Everything seems to be the way you left it when you guys were last here, maybe 5 hours ago or so.
Okay.
Sam, you head into the throne room. You start looking around, and with that roll, you notice things are slightly different. The thrones are in the same spots, but it looks like the tables and benches have been moved about just a little bit. And there are signs, there's no bodies, no blood or anything, no signs of struggle, but there are signs that somebody stayed here. Based on the way the benches are laid about, it looks like you could guess maybe a group of 2 to 3 people were staying here for some time.
So, how long do you think we've been gone? You'd say to
Right.
anybody in particular.
If I was able to tell how long someone's been staying here, would I be able to relay that information?
You could tell them it looked like somebody had, used these benches and these chairs. It looked like somebody had kind of set up an impromptu camp inside the throne room.
So I tell the party we've been gone for long enough for someone to set up a camp.
From your guys' perception, it seemed you were only here like 5 or 6 hours ago. If
So
that.
it seems anyway. All right. Anything of interest? No people.
No bodies, no people.
Smoldering fires.
I
Anything
can
like
find
that. All right.
no bodies or people.
All right. To the basement.
Okay. What is your plan for that? Are you guys gonna walk through that together? Send someone in? Because there is still a strong Hysterium haze down there.
I'd prefer not to go all the way in. I'm not doing the hottest in my own health.
I'll run in and I'll report back. How's that?
Okay.
Because Oofing.
Everybody okay with 6 going in and giving it a look?
Can Percival go with him?
Sure.
Would you be opposed to Percival going with you?
Not in the least.
Then Percival would go with you.
Alrighty.
Okay.
I'll follow.
Okay, so we've got Menon, Percy, and 6, and somebody crunching on some chips. We're
It's a
and
Pop-Tart wrapper.
Eden
Shut
blowing
up.
into her microphone some more. Please, yep. You're
Eden, one more time, please.
no,
I'm
no, no,
almost there.
no, no.
I'm almost
Oh,
there.
don't
I'm
do it.
almost
Don't.
there.
No.
I'm almost
no.
there. Oh yeah.
Fucking bitch.
My pants are ruined.
So half the
Eden, I hate you. Blake, I hate you more.
couple members of Sam and Zelfer hang back a bit, guard the front, or rather the stairs that lead down to the dungeon. 6, Percy, and Menon, I need you all to roll me 2 things. Firstly, investigation, checking out the dungeon, looking for any hints of an artifact. 6 finds an artifact. And then I need each of you to also roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. What was the first one?
Investigation.
Investigation.
While they do this, I look over to 6. I think Menon is angry with me. not
Sam
Six,
is who's next
Sam,
to you. Yeah.
Sam. I think Menon is angry with me.
For what?
I don't have the slightest clue. Did I do something wrong?
Yeah, you were a little brutal with that wizard back there.
Was I?
Yes.
I took it a little easy.
Hey, Holden.
Yes.
We're guarding a doorway.
You're guarding a stairwell.
Okay.
Or you can stay at the top, the very top where the doorway is if you'd like, yes.
Oh god.
I'll stay at the top.
Okay.
Assuming Zelfer will be there as well, but
Yep.
I'm gonna activate my. I'm gonna have my hand on my weapon and activate my tunnel fighter.
Cool. Good move.
But,
Alright.
Mr. Sam, I did take it easy.
Yes, well, you murdered him, and
Yes.
we could have still gotten answers.
You were not going to get any answers out of him. That
I
I
could have gotten answers.
You could not have gotten answers. If he
You never
wasn't
know
giving...
until you try.
This is a pissing match. It's not going anywhere.
Sam strangles Zelfer to death.
Yeah, let's not interrupt their
only
RP,
for
please.
Bones. Zelfer would probably like it.
Let's not interrupt them, please.
Mr. Sam, in all due respect, this is my area of expertise. You were not getting anything else out of that man, except for blood.
Mr. Zelfer, with all due respect, he was the only one who hasn't blatantly called me a liar or a drunk when I told them who I was. He knew something.
And he wasn't going to tell you anything.
Okay.
You underestimate me, Mr. Zelfer. I would have gotten answers one way or the other.
I promise you, you weren't going to get answers.
Well, as they're having this back and... Oh, go ahead. Finish up.
Is
that a-
we're just gonna go back and forth for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. As you guys are going back and forth, one of you convinced that you could have gotten answers, the other convinced that you could not. So it's civil, but there's a bit of debate going back and forth about that. We head back down to the dungeon where 6, Percival, and Menon have dived into the dungeon once more to search for any
Found an
clues
artifact.
and they found 20 artifacts they, in a pile neatly in the corner. How convenient. No,
With the sign that says,
look,
here, use these.
yeah, they look for
Thank you, please.
looking for anything and everything that might help them get back to where they were, and each of them trying their best to avoid the haze. Are you guys moving together or separately? Are you all kind of spreading out and covering more ground? Or are you moving together? How would you like to do that?
I would be fine moving on my own, since I can move quickly through the hysterium, or I would be fine to wait.
Thanks, robot.
However, oh, you're welcome. Am I
Yeah,
a robot now?
pretty robot. But I understood.
Okay.
Menon, would you like to cling to Percival, or are you gonna do your own thing? Eden?
Yo, she fucking dead.
Yo, she dead. Okay, if Eden's dead, then I'm going to assume that she's clinging to Percival, not liking the spiders down here. So I will give Percival. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Both of you rolled better on the first anyway. We'll take Percival's 10. Follow. Okay, cool. So Percy and Menon stick together. You guys cover as much area in the dungeon as you can. And when you come out, Percy and Menon are hacking and wheezing and coughing. Their guts feel terrible. Six, however, was able to avoid the Hysterium haze a bit better and is fairly confident that he went back to the spot where they found the first artifact, and you're fairly confident that there's nothing there. They're just a pile of dust.
All right, I tried. All right, let's go find the Rangers.
Epic.
Okay, so they head back up. They head back up
Found
the
'em.
stairs. They head back up the stairs and tell you guys they couldn't find anything. Menon and Percival just kind of retching a little bit.
They come upstairs. I don't think we could have gotten any answers out of
Yeah,
it.
you guys are still going.
Like,
No, I would have dropped it. I would have just stopped talking.
oh, I'm just sitting there going, I don't get what I.
Hold on, I think
Oh, I miss
the Discord is fucking up. Hold on, I'm gonna move us.
you.
We'll try this channel.
I don't like this channel. Can I go back?
Bussy.
Everyone sounds fine to me. Okay, moving on.
Sounds good.
Oh, hi, Miss Menon. Hello.
She retches a little bit.
Nothing down there.
Did you guys breathe in the bad dust?
I mean, a little.
That's my name.
A little is your name?
No, someone put Zelfer right into the shit we hate chat.
Oof.
And I'm hurt.
Oof.
I'm gonna be real with you. If I have to whip out my next guy, you're gonna hate him more.
Alright. What's the party's next move?
I say
Rangers when everybody else is.
that we go to the Rangers and ask for them to send us back.
They may not have the power.
Well, what good are they?
They didn't really know how to get there in the first place.
Useless.
Eden, you're really breathing into your mic.
Sorry, it's my fan.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going sitting there like. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
That would be even funnier, and I'd prefer it.
I thought she was like really intent. Okay. So it sounds like it's unanimous. We're heading back to the Rangers. What the reason?
Found him.
Yeah. That's where you can assume. It's just that's the only thing on the map that I believe Six has.
I did, yes.
Yeah, it's the only thing marked as Rangers on your map, so that's your best guess. How would you guys like to proceed? Would you like to move through the city, or?
We're off to see the Rangers, the wonderful Rangers of Oz.
I feel like there's less chance of stuff happening outside the walls.
Jason, your connection is absolutely destroyed.
Okay.
I didn't even hear a robot. That just sounded like he was gargling some fat balls.
I was outside the walls then.
Okay. So
I mean, I'd like to go sightseeing.
But they gotta be fat balls, bro.
We'll move outside the walls.
okay.
Trying to get there quickly.
Something like that, perhaps.
Yeah.
Outside the nearest
Sure.
gate, and then through outside the
That better?
walls. A little bit.
All right.
So.
Missed your sweet guttural voice.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, thank you.
Being
welcome.
near the Cloaked Rangers headquarters, you are able to traverse through the streets with little issue. Some of you a bit more beat up than others. You exit the nearest gate to you and head outside the walls, passing by very small villages, collections of houses, for some reason still living outside of Direwood, mostly farming villages and just people getting by. This strange entourage you're in, get some looks. You guys get some looks, but
I just wave.
nothing.
Constantly.
Yeah. And every now and then a scared child will kind of timidly wave back, or people will stare, but you...
Hello!
At one point, Zelpher waves, and maybe a kid, maybe 7 years old, runs up, waves, and Zelpher goes, "Hello!" And the kid runs up and goes, "Your eyes are funny."
And your brain is tiny.
He frowns and runs away, starts to cry.
You're gonna die before I will.
Wait, that kid's
Zelfer,
racist.
stop bullying the children.
He started it.
After that, you guys continue, and eventually you do see what appears to be a well-made but also quite makeshift fortress of, large wooden spike walls and stone infrastructure, and a couple of watchtowers and behind the walls watching. And you find what appears to be the front gates.
Blake, what the fuck was that?
He's laughing because I said watchtowers watching.
What else are they gonna do?
Yeah,
Fucking
fuck you.
Sleep? What
Yeah.
the fuck? Dumbass.
Jesus Christ.
Hey,
Sorry.
Blake, can you shut the fuck up for 2 seconds? Jesus Christ.
So you guys eventually come to what you can assume to be some sort of base of operations for the Cloaked Rangers. You walk up to the front gates where 2 soldiers wielding spears. Wait, before leaving. What? Oh, sent away. Gotcha. Okay, so Sam is traveling without his armor, just his undergarments.
Percival's still shirtless.
Very shirtless and very wet. You're gleaming, my dude. The rain is starting to die down a bit.
Yeah.
The rain is starting to die down a bit, but it's still cloudy as usual. And,
I'm nearly constantly casting prestidigitation to keep myself as dry as possible.
Yeah, you can do that. You can keep it relatively dry.
Just for my books, I need to be safe.
Yeah, of course, you do so. Just every few minutes, you're like, oh yeah, and you clean your books and they're good again.
I think it wouldn't be me remembering; it'd be me constantly casting it, waiting for my magical ability to let me do it again. kind of a sad sight, to be honest.
It seems a little sad, maybe a little exhausting. But you guys reach the front gate where 2 cloaked rangers, in their usual garb, stand with spears in hand. And as you start to approach, one of them calls out, "Who goes there?
I do.
What business do you have?" Maybe 30 feet out.
The one where we fuck your mom.
Getting
Don't.
closer is my first.
Ravina.
What?
6.
We're here to see Ravina.
As you guys approach, you're maybe 5 feet away now. You're getting within normal talking distance. 6 says, "Oh, we're here to see Ravina," and they both the guards look at each other, eyeball one another. They say, well, the other one who hadn't greeted you says, "Wait right here," and he steps inside. The other one steps in front of the large gate, blocking the entrance. And there's a minute or two where you guys are kind of just awkwardly standing there with this man guarding the gate. He's kind of looking, each of you up and down, doing a little elevator checkout.
How close are you to him?
Just
5
standing
feet.
there with
Yeah.
my arms crossed.
Yeah, 5 feet or so. Yeah, within.
Person's gonna lean in close and go, "What's up?
He goes, "Aye."
Are you guarding pretty well today?"
I wouldn't consider myself a gardener. More.
Guarding pretty well today.
It was don't have much humor to you, I see. Yes, I believe I'm doing a fine job.
No, we can't find her.
Have you You want to see a dead body? No, I'm kidding. He
Snaps his
kind
neck.
of he narrows his eyes at you. "I'm sorry."
he didn't say that. I said he didn't.
Oh, okay.
Zelfer does. He goes,
he's-
"Do you want to see a dead body?"
He narrows his eyes at you and says, "I'm sorry."
I'm not.
He shakes his head and looks at you. He
You gotta
looks at
stop me
Please
from
don't
killing.
mind. Don't mind the thing.
That's hurtful.
Whatever
I
he is.
have a name.
What business have you with Ravina?
Fucking her tight ass.
Tickle fight.
Jason.
I'm assuming none of that was in game, so I'm just gonna.
No. That's we are here to tell her how we failed.
How you failed? Failed what?
We failed our mission
Pregnancy
to
test.
find Reginald.
His eyes widen for a moment. He says, "What? Wait, what happened? We thought you were dead." And as he starts to stammer a bit, Ravina and the other guards step out through the front gate as it opens just a bit, and she comes out, and when she sees you all, her eyes widen a bit. She goes, where,
See, and here comes the part where I ask how long we've been gone, and it's been longer than 5 hours, I'm assuming.
how, yeah, you see the reaction, you ask how long you've been gone. You've been gone over 2 weeks.
Prove it.
You see this coffee in my hand? It's dead cold. We've been gone for 2 weeks.
I brewed this coffee when you left, right? This is, look how it smells. Smell it.
Why do you still have that coffee? It's a timestamp, my man.
We don't have electronics here, okay?
It's an electronic.
She starts to stammer and says, we thought you were dead. Where's
Am I?
Reggie? Where's Reginald?
Not here.
We couldn't find him.
And
Not
the other
here.
guard kind of leans in her and says, they said they failed, and they've come to tell you. And her eyes, she kind of lowers her head a bit, and her shoulders slump. She says, "What? You couldn't find him, or don't tell me he's
We were
dead."
attacked. We
We
could not find him.
we ended up accidentally finding the exit to whatever that realm of existence was.
So you went there. You went where
We
Reggie.
were in there. We were in that plane of existence, and we accidentally found our way out. And now we can't get back in.
Do
So
you think these will help? She says, pulling out 3 coins. No, I'm kidding.
yeah, 300. Oh, you mean these? No. She tightens her lip a little bit and seems to kind of be holding back tears. One of the guards places his hand on her shoulder, and she stands still for a moment. She looks up to you, Six, and says, "You didn't see him at all. Are you sure he was there?"
We don't know. We were attacked.
That's the way to put it.
Attacked by who? By what?
He's dead. The guy's dead now who attacked us.
Well, I'm
the
good.
wizard.
I'm glad.
I tell her.
I have it. I have his
From the
tongue.
previous, we've mentioned him before. And yes, Zelper has his tongue in his hand, I believe.
I have his right hand. Do you want it?
The guards all sort of look disgusted, and
I
Ravina
pull
said-
it out.
They all kind of do like a little lean back, like what the fuck? And they all kind of mumble, and Ravina says, "Why do you?"
Well, you see, I wanted to prove I had killed him.
That
In case
could
you
be.
didn't believe me.
Is that? So you took his tongue? Who was this?
I don't know his name. I just.
It was a man by the name of Zimmer.
I literally just.
Her eyes are wide at this point. The tears that were forming are now gone, and she's just, what? What is wrong with you people?
What the fuck?
No, it's not you people.
Okay, what is wrong with him?
A lot.
We don't know.
What do you mean? What is wrong?
Is
with
it safe to let him into our headquarters?
As long
Yeah,
as none of
that
you,
either.
as long as none of you try and attack him, probably.
me? It's not even
Probably.
attack. It's not even attacking me. If you attack any of my friends, I will slaughter you.
Right. Then she kind of leans over and whispers something to one of the guards. He nods and heads inside, and
He's like an untrained lap dog.
All I have is love, man. You all just ain't ready for it yet.
She narrows her
Love for
brows
my
and kind of
homies.
nods a little bit, like, right. So you managed to get into whatever plane of existence Reginald found himself in, and you couldn't find
It
him.
was-
Do
It
you
was
have
dusty?
Do you have any evidence that he's there? Anything at all to show?
We don't.
I hold up the hand. He said he was there.
Who said the man you killed?
Yes.
He said that Reginald was there.
Yes.
So did the
As
Sphinx.
well as the Sphinx, yeah.
The Sphinx. What the hell is a Sphinx?
Sorry,
Yeah,
that hot
yeah.
griffin kind of horse.
It
thing.
was
She had
a
nice
lion with a human
Rack.
torso.
And human tits.
and
she
head.
she holds up both hands and says, I believe you, but what? I don't want to go wherever
I
you went."
don't even know what it is.
Okay.
Weird how you believe us, because I don't even believe me, let me tell you.
Well, for some
It
reason,
asked us questions. It said that Reginald was.
she looks to Six and says, "This is all true."
Unfortunately.
Six goes no.
Yeah.
No, we're just talking with you.
She
Help me.
nods.
I don't know who these people are. They keep telling me outlandish tales.
She
Can't express.
starts to nod. She says, "Well, you all must be tired.
Oh yes.
You've been gone for so long. Are you hungry? Do you need to bathe?"
Oh, I
Yes.
could devour an entire fucking pig right now.
Right.
That's unhealthy, Mr. Percy.
Yep,
Well-
being around you is also decently unhealthy, but here we
No,
are.
that's just hurtful.
And Ravina
How did
says,
you
"It
know?
sounds about right, though."
Holden, I just realized you changed your name to 5 Minute Fucks, and I hate it.
Anyway, she says, "Well, come in. And she looks to the other guard and says, "He'll be back shortly. Yeah, I just sent him to give word." And the guard nods and says, "I'll hold
word to
my
who?
post."
For free?
And she says,
Who,
"Come with
Elsie?
me." And she raises one hand, and there's a large as the gates are slowly pulled back a little bit, leaving some room for you guys to enter. And I assume you all follow her in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once inside, to your left a watchtower, to your right a watchtower, each maybe about 50 feet out. There's a rather large courtyard in front of you with practice targets and dummies and things to. It looks like a general training area, and a small, maybe 2-foot tall platform in the center of the courtyard. Beyond that, a large wooden fortress that seems to be reinforced with various stones and metals. It seems, well, again, like the walls of the fortress, well put together, but put together with a variety of resources. It looks to be about 2 or 3 stories tall, and it's a rather large building, one of the larger buildings you've seen. It's probably been here for quite some time. And she leads you through the courtyard, past some rangers who are practicing with their bows from about 30 feet out, and some, there are others just training throughout. And she leads you into the large structure in the center of the courtyard. And as you head inside, I assume you guys are just going to continue following her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you head inside into this large open room with various equipments and some rangers talking and sitting on chairs at
On
tables.
tables?
On tables. Yep. Some are sitting on tables too. Sure, why not? And you take a left, and then you take a right,
Not
and another
chairs
left,
for a reason.
and another left. You go up some stairs. You're going through what seems like just a maze of corridors until eventually you come to a
The murder dungeon.
large, very heavy-looking wooden door, and Ravina pulls out a couple of keys and unlocks 1 lock, 2 lock, 3 locks, and then 1 lock, 2 lock, and she unlocks all 3 of these locks and pulls the door open, and from inside you hear, "Come in, I've heard," and she nods and she gestures for all of you to head inside.
I walk inside.
Percy looks at Ravina and just, can I have those keys?
She rolls her eyes at you.
Okay. I'll take that as a no, but thanks for answering. Oh, wait.
Uh-huh. Okay. Assume
I'll
everyone.
hang back
Yeah.
until everyone else goes in, and I'll look at Ravina and I'll say, I can't express my sorrow at the loss of your brother.
She holds up her
He's a
hand.
good man.
She holds up her hand. We don't say that. We don't know that he's dead. If you didn't find him, I still have hope. Please don't
Yes.
say that.
He's a good
Thank
man.
you. Thank you, but this isn't a funeral.
It is now, bitch. No, I'm kidding.
Not you.
Percy kills her.
And she
There you go.
says, it isn't a funeral, as you guys kind of file into this small, kind of smaller, it's like a 5 by 10 foot room with a desk and some shelves at the other end from where you came in. And the commander,
5 by 10 foot won't even hold me. What the fuck?
the commander, yeah, it's a little cramped in here, but the commander himself is sitting at the desk with the shelves behind him filled with books. Hint, hint.
Would you say they're shelved? Do they book shelves?
Yeah, you might say they are bookshelves. Yeah, it's more of a memorial. Oh Jesus. And he greets you all as you walk in with a nod to each of you. His hands kind of, his elbows on the
Zilper-
desk. Go ahead.
Is looking at the books and licking his lips.
That's what I figured. His elbows are on his desk. His fingers interlocked, kind of, in a very thoughtful position. And you all head in, and he says, "I understand you traveled interplanar, yes?"
Yes.
Can I read some of your books?
Perhaps. Not now. We have much to discuss. Ravina at the door. And she nods and she says, "Do you want me?" And he says, "Perhaps not." And
Yes.
she nods once more and she closes the door and she's on the outside now. You hear as she locks the 3 locks with you guys inside.
Oh,
And she is outside. Yeah, I mean, you can see the locks on the inside. They're just little twists. You could easily unlock them yourselves if you wanted. They're not trapping you inside. And the commander says, "You've been gone for just over 2 weeks, 15 days, I believe.
that's what they tell us.
If my theory is correct, it does not feel like that."
No.
It doesn't
No
matter.
shit, Sherlock. We could
Feels
have
like
fucking
maybe
told you
5
that.
or 6 hours.
That's not good. I didn't want Ravina in here because
What?
if my theory is correct, time does not work the same, wherever you went.
No, it
And
doesn't.
If Reginald is truly there, he is starving to death as we speak. Perhaps he's already
We must
dead.
act quickly.
Omae wa mu shinduru.
Well, if you say you were gone for maybe 5, 6 hours, you're gone for 15 days, then we can assume that 1 hour equals approximately 3 days. That's my best guess. This is all surmising, of course. But I don't know what Reginald's
hour
situation is.
Being 3 days here. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. That's the better scenario.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
means time is passing slower. Okay, good.
So, wait, no, you've got me confused. What? No, 1 hour in the
Yeah, what
material
the
plane. Wait, why did you? 1 hour here in Direwood is 3 days. No,
No,
3 days in Direwood is 1 hour in the dust plane. Yeah.
correct. Okay.
You got me all
Good
sorts
talk.
of. I had this in my head all figured out, and then you started. Fuck me.
I was like, what the fuck?
Alright,
confused me, so-
we've been gone for a day.
You've been gone for quite some time. So.
That's good though. That means Reginald's only been there for like 6-7 hours now.
Perhaps. Though this is all based on. Wait, no.
My boy.
And
I don't.
Dude, if we were there for 5 hours and 15 days passed, that means for every hour that we were in the material plane, 3
Yes.
days passed on the outside.
Yes.
So that means we could spend an additional 3 days on the outside, and only 1 more hour would pass in the sand plane.
Correct.
Okay. So he's only been there for like 6-7 hours. We could spend another 3
in
days
his time.
for 8 hours. Yes,
In his time.
correct.
Now that that's settled.
Jason, can you not
I'm
bring
ju-
math into this, please?
Sure. I'm trying to figure out how much time we have to get it. We can spend 3 more days here. It will only be an hour for him. That's what I wanted to figure out. Like, do we need to go immediately, or can we go later this evening? And it sounds like later this evening is an appropriate answer.
Mm-hmm.
The giant
I-
bitch slaps you.
That's if there's even a way back into the plane.
And that's also assuming that is correct. That is assuming we can get back there, and that is also assuming that our assumption is correct. We don't have a lot of experience with this, nor do you. Perhaps time jumps around abnormally. Perhaps it is normal, and your math checks out. We don't know. I'm assuming the worst. So right now, Reginald's rescue is our top priority. But we don't know how to do it. Do you have any leads?
Reginescu, if you will.
I will.
I won't. I'll be frank with you, he says. He leans back and he says, I have no idea how he got in there, how you got in there.
I suggest we contacted the Mages Guild immediately.
At the mention of the Mages Guild, his nostrils immediately flare up and he takes a deep breath and he goes, I'd rather not.
I understand, but we don't have a wizard.
We got in there with some sort of artifact.
An artifact. This is good. What sort of artifact? What was it?
It was an orb, and it just produced endless dust, almost like an orb of endless dust.
Dusty. He whimpers a little. He starts to sniffle a little bit.
Dusty.
It brought us into this dust plane.
How? What did you do?
I put it in a light.
You put it in light. Fine.
A purple glowing.
No, the glowing lights that were in the chamber.
Ah, Ravina told me of those. Strange anomalies.
I took the dust orb of dust, Dusty. And
Dusty,
I
yes.
went, yes, Dusty. I went, and I put it in there.
And do you still have it?
No, I missed Dusty.
Ah, his eyebrows furrow a little bit. I'm sorry for your loss.
It
You're
vanished
welcome.
and consumed in the process.
Sorry for your loss. You're welcome.
Well, how did you get out? You said you're back, so
There was
Oh,
a
the
wizard,
wizard.
who used
one that
dimensional
had-
door.
There you go.
There was a trapdoor that we went through, dragging along a person,
okay.
and then we sat down with the person, and through unforeseen, unfortunate circumstances, that person died.
Oh, you mentioned
Damn,
you were
isn't it
attacked.
shaking
This,
his
this
head.
is the man who attacked you. Then you
Yes,
killed him.
Yes.
You could say that.
Yes, Zelfer killed him.
If you
We
killed
went
him
through
in
his
self-defense, I have no problem with that.
We went through his door to see where it led. Maybe it would have led to Reginald, but it just led us back here.
A dimensional door,
It was a
Yes.
trapdoor.
a trap.
To another dimension. A dimensional trapdoor, you may say.
I will
I
say.
might.
There's still a physical door where we came out of at this wizard's old residence or hideout or whatever you want to call it. We can take you there, but we have no way of opening the door.
Of physically opening the door, or of recreating that
Reopening
portal?
the
The
dimensional.
portal.
The portal.
Watch us
okay.
get back there and his room's gone.
Okay. This is worth inspecting. This is a lead. Thank you. Do you have any evidence or any assurances that this man was holding Reginald?
No. All we have is that he said that Reginald was in that plane.
He said that.
There's
Unprompted?
a creature as well.
I wouldn't say unprompted.
We asked if he knew where Reginald was.
So he could be completely lying to you.
He could have.
We can't
But the
ask him now.
Sphinx also said it.
The what?
Sand monster.
I described
There
what
was
the
a-
fucking Sphinx looked like.
It had nice
he
tits.
he doesn't look confused at your description. He seems a little skeptical, but he nods. He nods and says, "Okay."
Look, I'm having a hard time believing that it was real too. But it asked us questions, and it said that Reginald was there.
Okay. Well, having nothing else to go on, we will assume that you are correct and this man was holding Reginald, and that he was not lying to you. We will assume that his dimensional.
We don't know if he was holding Reginald.
Do you have any other leads for us then?
No, all he said was that Reginald was in that plane.
He did. Okay. Well, that's our
He
best
never
lead
said
still.
that he was holding him.
That's our best lead
Duh.
still. So, I think if you can show us this door, then perhaps that'll be a good start. We can. I have mages, but I none of them with interplanar abilities.
We too know a mage. We will ask him.
Is he of the Mages Guild?
Maybe.
Yes.
I prefer not to deal with him, but if you know him personally, I'll leave that up to you.
We'll pick his brain at least.
Right.
Not like that.
No, Zelfer.
I hate to say it, but some of the men have already assumed the worst of him. They don't know everything. I can't have my men panicking about other planes coming in, intersecting with our own, and we're already in dire straits. So,
No,
some of
you're
them-
in Direwood.
Thank you. And for the first time, you see the commander, this very stern and stoic man, very gently roll his eyes and sigh a little bit. And he says, "Some of the men have already made preparations for a funeral.
I mean, are we invited?
I'll bring the cake.
Sure.
Fuck it.
Hopefully, we won't be delivering the corpse.
No, we have a ceremony for when
Jesus.
we do not have the body of a fallen. We have a specific ceremony for that. And he gestures
We all get
behind
naked
him.
and flop our dicks on each other.
He gestures behind him, and there's a he points to a small, or no, a very wide, rather, a long case, like wooden case with a glass top that seems to be, now that you look, emitting a very faint glow. He says, we have a special ceremony for that.
I call bullshit. There's no way that he can gesture behind him and be pointing at a case in this tiny room. It already has bookshelves and a bunch of giant people in it.
It is
All
very
right,
cramped, but that does happen.
Can I have a book now?
I suppose you've earned it for your efforts. What would you like?
What do I have the choices of?
Oh, I have plenty of books on the history of Direwood, the kings,
Just
the
take
kingdom.
S from the encyclopedia section.
I have books on arcane.
history of Direwood?
Arcane?
I have books of the arcane. Yes.
What books of the arcane?
Nothing particularly
Some
useful.
occult book of the arcane.
Lore and descriptions of spells and fairy tales mostly.
Okay. What else? What's your favorite book?
Ooh, my favorites.
Old Yeller,
Probably be a novel.
1984.
There's a novel called The Tale of Two Sons, written by a previous king. Or it is supposedly written by an old king of Direwood. I could lend that to you
Which
if
one?
you would like. I've read it many times.
How many times?
If I were to guess, half a dozen.
What's in this book? What's this book about?
I'm gonna.
Ages.
I would like to read it.
Sure. He kind of turns around and reaches back and pulls out a very thick book. Looks, you just by looking, you could guess it's anywhere from 300 to 500 pages, and he extends it out to you, a gift for your services.
Dope. Grabs it, and I was laying on the floor like a teenage girl on a bed, legs kicking in the air as he starts to read.
Dark
They're both in my sweatshirt.
Dark Paladin, are you also interested in the history of Direwood?
No, would like to find out what the city's become.
What it's become? Ah, you're not from here. Well, I do have one book. Let's see, a brief history of Direwood.
I have that one.
I have that one.
Oh, you have a copy. Let's see. Let me look through here.
I have
do
that
you all
one,
want?
Sulfur.
Do you all want books as your rewards? Are you scholars?
Oh,
I'm a scholar.
I'm more interested in information.
Well,
As am I, Percy would say.
Something that maybe you can help me figure out in private.
he gives you an inquisitive look,
My
nods,
PP itch.
and he says, "Well,
Is this infected?
perhaps rather than the book, private conversation would be more pertinent."
I'd also like to sign up for one of those, Percy would say.
Ah, I'm a librarian now. Okay. What would you like?
What?
Well,
He wants a
what
private
are you-
conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, a private conversation. I thought you were all scholars and looking for books. Fine.
I'm a scholar.
Now,
Do I
there
look
are-
like a scholar?
There are two more. We will get to search. Assuming we're going on the assumption that 3 days in our realm is 1 hour in the realm that Reginald is currently trapped in. If that is the case, we have time to plan our next action. The next orders of business. Firstly, are any of you interested in joining our ranks of the Cloaked Rangers?
What does that entail?
Protecting the city with your life and pledging yourselves to the old kings of Direwood.
I already protect the city with my life. And I've already
As do
pledged
I.
myself to the oldest king of Direwood.
He
As
squints
do I,
at
but
you.
it's not the oldest.
And he squints at both of you. Perhaps private conversations would be good. Fine.
Do I get any more books?
Not of mine, though we do have a very small library that is available to our members.
Do I have to leave my friends?
No, of course not.
Do I have to listen to you?
I would be your commander, yes. And you would follow my order to a T.
Can I torture people to death?
Only if I order it.
No free time torturing.
No.
You can't free time torture with us.
What is your... And he kind of sits up a little bit. He's been leaning back this whole time. He sits
3
up.
o'clock.
What is your interest in torturing?
Old jobs.
His eyes widen just a little bit, and okay.
My eyes widen back, but it's way weirder when I do it.
We may have use for you, actually. I hate to say it, but desperate times. What about you, girl?
Huh?
Have you been paying attention to any of this conversation?
Says the DM and the commander.
Yes.
Both of them. Very curious.
Honestly, I've been trying.
Right.
I'll-
Were
I'll
you with them?
admit that I unwillingly zoned out.
Right. Do you have any interest in joining our
Unwillingly.
ranks of the Cloaked Rangers? If
I
you've been through these harrowing adventures with them, he gestures to the rest of the group, you must be at least somewhat capable.
As a singer-songwriter, maybe.
Yeah,
She's a very
mean-
useful healer.
I've got
healer.
nothing else.
I could use healers.
Very
I
capable
don't-
healer.
I don't have anywhere else to go.
Hmm.
Might as well give my life some purpose, other than drinking and singing for money.
And the torturer, would you follow me?
Hmm.
Do I get paid?
I suppose we could.
He will pay you in books.
You will gain all benefits of working for us. The bathhouse will be open to you. The small library, our
The
mess
Ronin one?
house.
Do I have to stay here, or can I stay with my friends constantly?
That is something I had been thinking about. It seems you all want to stick together. So, perhaps you could be a special force of ours. I have very little resources at my disposal right now. We're spread very thin between trying to patrol the streets and rid it of as many monsters as we can, and guarding main gate.
Sorry, I'm
And
being arrested, guys.
yeah,
they
and
got onto my.
and guarding the city as a whole, we're spread quite thin. I have roughly 200 men at my disposal right now, men and women.
You can spread my whole thing.
And
Jeez. God.
you all are interesting. I could use a special force. Somebody who could go out and take care of other jobs for me that I can't spare
So
the
what
manpower
are we?
for.
Some kind of suicide squad?
God damn it.
That's the best joke you've ever.
Six says, I feel like just looking at the rest of my group, that might work out better than having anyone actually sign any paperwork.
May we discuss it as a group first before anything is completely decided on?
My 5e Pepsi.
I still have it.
Oh right, that's right. Yeah, you do. Do you have a note of? Hold on, let me. 5e Pepsi. Did you?
I've taken 2 sips of it.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's right. That's just the potion that tastes like a cola. Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Wait, has Six drank his yet?
I
still
believe.
have
I
both-
believe-
I still
believe-
have both of my potions.
Yeah, I believe a couple of you have potions on you, random potions.
I do. It's written down with a number.
Just chug it right now. Fuck it.
I know that one of them made me feel like you know that bear that ate like 500 pounds of cocaine.
The one that does the toilet paper commercials.
No,
Sherman, we fucking love shitting.
and then another one that made me float
So,
and feel
anyway,
shit.
back on track.
Yes.
hmm
I'll make a brief proposal, give you some choices. Firstly, I would like to thank you for your efforts, and you,
Deal.
for the day, and for the night even, have access to all of our accompaniments here. You can use the bathhouse, you can check out the small library, you can train, you're free to stay in some of our extra beds in the barracks.
That is most gracious of you.
Yeah, I am appreciative of your efforts. Ravina told me she was quite worried as she threw the task onto you and then left you to your own devices. Frankly, I wasn't sure you were going to follow through. But I thank you for doing so, and for the night, we'll consider you our allies, and you can use any of our resources here. Also,
Six reaches out to shake his hand. I'm not. Thank you.
he shakes your hand. It's a very firm grasp. I assume
Alright.
meant with a very firm grasp from you. It's a very manly
Indeed.
handshake. It's a very strong
Just
handshake.
fucking break
And
his
all of,
hand.
if anyone were gay within 100-foot vicinity, they'd pop a boner.
Done.
Whoa.
Percy has a boner.
Yeah. He says.
Menon also has a boner.
Also, I would like to have you all on as full-time cloaked rangers. However, I have a feeling that won't suit you. This would be rather odd and unlike us, but I could hire you as agents. I don't have much in terms of gold to offer, but of course all of our facilities and perhaps other forms of payment here and there, whatever I can give you. I can't promise much.
This would be a great arrangement.
Well, I will let you, before any of you make a decision, discuss it as a group. Feel free to take advantage of any of our facilities for the night, and thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Okay. And he says,
Thank you.
Ravina! And
Yes,
you hear the
dear.
doors unlock. You hear the as the 3 locks unlock, and the door opens up, and she says, "You're done
3
then."
locks unlocking, 2 locks
Yeah.
unlocking.
Yeah, she says, "You're done then."
oh,
He says- he
locks
nods.
unlocking.
And Ravina says, "If you'd all like to follow me, if everything has gone as expected, I'll take you back to the courtyard, and you can do what you would from there."
I would like
As
to have
she
my
opens the
private
door-
conversation first.
No, Commander, I'm not going to take my pants off.
Hmm. Commander
I'm
says, "Perhaps you should speak with your companions. We can have a private conversation later. I have a little bit of thinking to do, if you don't mind."
Oh, but I do mind.
I have a mind.
Very well.
And he nods.
Alright.
If you all will follow, Ravina will bring you back down the winding corridors of this this fortress.
No, I made a note of all the turns you told us to take to get here. I'd like to hear you repeat it.
I'd like for you to fuck off, is what I'd like.
That's what I thought, bitch. You don't even fucking remember, do you?
No, I don't have it written down.
It was
Yeah.
down the stairs.
I'll
then
tell
a
you right now.
And then a right.
I
and
believe,
then a
actually, hold
right.
on, let me guess. I believe you walked in, you took a left, and then a right, and then a left, and then another left, and then up some stairs.
I didn't write it down. I just wanted to see if I could get
I
you to
think
repeat it.
you're
No.
right, though. Yeah.
Down
I think
some
I-
stairs, right, left,
No.
right.
It
Got
was... the directions don't matter. It was just to show you guys that this is a maze-like fortress.
The Joker gets joked. Get
I got
fucked.
fucking clowned just now, dude. Holy shit. Give me some...
You got fucked.
I got clowned on. She... So Ravina brings you back down the winding corridors, taking a right,
Wait,
and then a left, and another left, and then a right, and
Wait.
down some stairs. Fuck you.
Wait.
Ravina, didn't we
Percival
take a
would've
right?
asked the Commander, if as a reward he could have a shirt.
He would kind of... A small smile would, fall across his face, and he'd say, "Yeah, sure, we can get you a shirt."
Sweet.
At every turn, Zelfer goes, didn't we take a right there last time? Are
Oh
you
my
sure it's the
God.
left?
Ravina grumbles and brings
outside,
you.
in the
You guys,
corridor,
yes,
or
you
in the
bring you
fucking
guys
whatever.
outside. She brings you back to the main hall of or not outside, to the main hall of the fortress, and says, "If everything has gone according to what the commander expected, you all have free range of our facilities. The bathhouse is over there. The
Make it
library over
time!
there.
Ooh, torn.
Our barracks are over there if you need rest. I believe he offered you a shirt." Nodding at Percival. You can.
Yes.
We have plenty of those.
I
This
hope
is
they
really
fit.
like a sparring courtyard.
I'm pretty prone to being shirtless for 15 years, but I haven't worn one in 15 years. So it might be cool.
Despite your stature, I think we can find you one.
Sweet. If it's too tight, that just shows me off. I don't mind.
And she kind
It'll
of says,
probably get ripped off next combat anyway.
you hear her. Actually, make a perception check for me, quick.
I'm sorry,
Perception.
I'm too distracted by the heavy typing. And the
Me
heavy
as well.
petting.
Okay. Okay. You after you say it'll probably be ripped up next combat. You hear her mutter something, but you don't quite catch it.
Great.
Okay. Sam is gonna head to the bathhouse.
Conversation.
Yeah, that one. Convert.
I love your conversations.
All right. Sam's heading
like
to the
war.
bathhouse.
War you.
What would Menon like to do? Okay.
I honestly.
Percival would ask if you got a chapel or something.
Well, we do have a small worship area. It's not specific to any deity, but we have a small space in the fortress
That's
for that.
fine.
She would give you directions. It's winding corridors, but you can find it.
Epic.
But what if he doesn't want to find it?
Zelfer, what are you doing?
Library.
Library. Okay, she'd give you directions.
Library.
6. There is a sort of sparring area outside in the courtyard where you saw men training. If you'd like to head there, you certainly can. Menon, what would you like to do?
I do head there. but
Okay,
I'm not
epic.
Menon.
Eden, wake up.
What are you doing,
What
man?
are you doing?
I don't know. I'll take a nap, I guess.
Okay, you head to the barracks
Okay.
and you take a good old nap. If you want to take a short rest, you certainly can.
Thanks.
We'll try and make this a little brief. For Sam, you head to the bathhouse. It's pretty humble. There's just a few, pools of warm water separated by, maybe chest-high walls. It's humble, but you could bathe yourself here and, relax for a minute. Waiting for your private conversation with the commander, which we'll get back to shortly. Zelfer,
Station.
you are directed to the library, where you find it's really just a few large shelves of books. It's not too impressive, but is there anything in particular you're looking for?
I start to look for simplistic torture methods.
Okay.
To see if there's anything more that I would already know. I don't. I doubt it, but
Special
Looking
things?
around, you don't find any book specifically about torture, but you do find a book detailing enhanced interrogation methods,
okay.
if you would like.
I pick it up and I see if it's something worth my time.
Flipping through, looking at the table of contents, it looks like it could be. There are various. There's a lot you already know. There is one chapter on various torture methods, but it seems light. You might learn a thing or two from here, but most of this you're probably familiar with.
Boring. Is there anyone else in the library?
No.
Oh, so boring. I look on. I take out my book on how to make friends,
Okay.
and I make the note: don't slaughter people in front of Menon.
Okay.
And I
Fair
put
enough.
a big fat period there, and I put a dash and go. At least make her cover her eyes.
Okay. Fair enough. You have that note. Percival, you are directed to the a small worship area. You step inside. It is small. There's just some various cloths and blankets strewn about the floor. A couple of people on their knees praying. There's no
That's the tea, sis.
there's no relics. There's no artifacts. There's nothing in here, pointing to any specific deity. But it appears that this is a place you can come and rest and worship. What do you do?
I am going to summon the Black Blade
Okay.
away from a lot of people.
They're deep enough in prayer that you're able to do it without too much drawing any attention.
I'm gonna set it down and I'm gonna kneel over it and try to communicate with Slisky.
Okay.
About insert cool ability that we talked about possibly having sometime
Okay.
that we need to balance that we can talk about after this game.
Okay. So you kneel down with the sword in front of you and you concentrate. And I'm going to take you into Secret Secrets for a moment.
Roll.
So
Hi, friend.
you're in your head. You feel a presence, but no voice.
Oh. Is that all?
Would you like to say something?
Hello, Slisky. It's been a bit. Still not that talkative. Understandable. So this whole killing people thing, I'm still getting to do that. That's pretty cool. That's what you said. But what if I could do it better? You know what I'm talking about.
I know
Actually,
exactly.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
DM knows what you're talking about.
Yeah. You know any cool tricks you might have for advanced killing? I've already rampaged once, thanks to you. So.
In time.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I'll
Thanks
DM.
for that
This is
sending me
DM.
berserk, my friend.
Yeah. DM speaking to you now. Yes, we can do that. We'll figure that out. Perhaps after the session tonight, or we'll get you that with your level 6, which the party now is.
For sure. I added the alert feat for level 6, by the way, since I got a feat.
Cool.
So.
Cool. Yeah, we will.
Now I know
That'll be a part of your
everything.
level 6. We'll balance that out.
Cool. So.
Oh,
Okay.
Just
Dude,
wiggle
no,
your
I can't.
hands.
I can't pull my pants down. Oh, we're back in.
Yep. Okay. 6. You head out to the courtyard and find a little sparring arena. What would you like to do?
Spar.
Is there anyone doing anything at the moment?
There are people training with bows and staffs and swords nearby. Nobody in the sparring arena though.
Okay. I will head into the arena. I will do some warm stretches and start to work out. Sort of make it make it apparent that I am available for a fight if anyone would like one. But just stretch, chill, whatever.
Okay. Make a performance check.
Performance. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's
See if you can get some attention.
Fuck me! He screams.
6 lets him go of his mating call.
No.
All right. So you get up there. You get up there and you walk onto the arena or into the arena. It's really just a little fenced off area, but it's quite clear what it's for. You step in. You start to do some stretches, and as you're stretching, all of a sudden you feel like a little pop in your leg. You're like, oh god! And you kind of like fall over a little bit, and you're like, ooh, pulled something. Ooh, that was a bit too much. Ooh. And you notice a couple people looking at you, and you hear a chuckle, and it doesn't seem anyone's gonna come in and invite you at this time.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'll just keep stretching.
Yep. All right. Let's stretch that one out. Cool. Okay.
He went to do the splits and went a little too far.
Menon, you are directed to the barracks. You find an empty bed most of the beds have very small placards, makeshift placards with names on them. You find one. You were told that just find a bed with no name, and it should be clean and available. And you find one with no name. You plop down and you pass the fuck out. And you take your short rest. Is there anything you'd like to do after your short rest? You take a nap for half an hour.
Practice my let's see. Let's practice my violin.
Okay.
And think about where the nearest place I could get a bagpipes is.
Okay. Sure.
We did
Thinking
pass
about
a
that,
bagpipe shop on the
maybe
way.
the general store in Main Gate, but there's no. Yeah, don't remember seeing one. That'd be interesting. That'd be a hard find. But you practice your violin, and a couple people who are. You play. You're just practicing, so it's
Make a
fine.
performance check.
No need for a performance check. At first,
Will you
can
take
do it
performance?
anyway.
if go ahead, make a performance check. We'll do it.
Yeah, fuck
Do
you.
you take performance?
Okay. It is fantastic.
Yay.
You are still very much in practice. And at first, when you start playing, there are a few people, trying to sleep, take naps, perhaps. And one kind of,
fuck
they
them.
kind of, at first they wake up and seem kind of annoyed, but then they look over and they listen, and it's beautiful, and they very quickly fall back asleep, more relaxed than before. It's lovely. Okay.
Percy's just gonna get out and flex. He's gonna do it. No, I'm kidding.
Back to Sam. You're waiting in the bathhouse for quite some time.
I'm
When
done bathing.
Yep, you finish up
Sam.
your bath, and eventually a ranger approaches you and says, Sam, are you Sam?
Yes.
He seems quite young. Says, the commander wants to see you.
Take me to him.
Okay.
Take me to your
Make a
leader.
history check for me as this teenager starts leading you to the commander's office.
So you can remember all the turns.
I'm not good at this one.
That's enough. It was not a hard DC. He's wearing a helmet and, actual cloaked ranger garb, but this might be the kid that you almost chopped his hand off, that you sent to main gate the tavern. He looks a lot like him. He sounds like him.
You look familiar, boy. Have I seen you before?
No, sir. I'm sure you haven't.
Are you lying to me?
I would never. Not to someone so scary.
Are you sure we've never met?
I like having my hands.
So we
Hey,
have
go
met,
off
and
now.
you just lied to me.
Hey,
No. Hey, look, the commander's office is right here. He's
Do you know
waiting
what
for
the
you.
cost of lying to me is?
Do not lie to people, boy.
It's your hand.
Walk into the office.
Okay.
Boy.
Well,
boy.
actually, the kid knocks on the door and then runs off, properly runs off, and you hear the click, click, click as the 3 locks unlock, and the commander opens the door and says, come in. And you enter, and he closes the door and locks the 3 locks. And I'm gonna take you into Secret Secrets for just a minute here.
Sulfur is just masturbating right now.
Furiously.
My head hurts.
Okay. He takes you inside. He goes and sits at his desk, and there is actually another chair now in the office, in his little office there, on the other side of the desk, and he gestures for you to sit.
I do.
Okay. What is it you'd like to discuss?
So I'll take out my brief history of Direwood book,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll put it on his desk, and I'll tell him it's incomplete. Most of it's from after I was around. There's not very much from the founding, which is unfortunate.
What you're telling me is you're here during the founding of Direwood. You realize that was 700 odd years ago.
Yes, 750 years ago is what they tell me.
What they tell you.
When I entered
crosses
this
his arms.
dust plane, when I entered this dust plane, it was a very familiar feeling. I don't think I was in the dust plane previously, but when I died 750 years ago, I got the same feeling back then. And I woke up here.
He leans back, crosses his arms, and he seems to be thinking about this for a moment. He says, no, okay. There is...
You call me a dark paladin.
Mm-hmm.
And I am perplexed myself. I don't know. Whatever brought me back to life, it changed me, at least in appearances and ability. I still feel the same person, but it's corrupted me in some way.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'd like you to help me find out who could have brought me back. Because I believe I've told you my name before.
Yes.
So, I wasn't just here for the founding of Direwood. I was one of the 2 that founded Direwood.
I have a suspicion. I don't want to believe you, but there is... Have you heard of Dire Times, the song?
No.
There is a song, a ballad, written by a prominent bard of Direwood that tells a tale of a hero who could either destroy or renew Direwood with his companions. He said, but what troubles me is that it mentions 8 people. You are not 8. Does that include me? Does that include others? I don't know. Maybe it has nothing to do with any of this. Maybe it's not true. The song tells a tale of this bard visiting a sage who prophesies of the future, and normally it would be a song. There's nothing of it, but it's striking how much it sounds like it's speaking of you and your companions. And it mentions I called you a dark paladin because the song mentions a dark paladin.
Yes,
and
I was a paladin previously.
It's very intriguing to me how striking the resemblance is. It's almost as if a prophecy is unfolding. It sounds quite silly. Perhaps it's nothing. Honestly, I hope it's nothing because the song is quite dark. But, nevertheless,
I will ask... I ask him what more he knows of founding a...
All I know is what the books told me and what I've heard from royalty. That's a set of brothers founded the city, and one became the king, one became sort of a
Captain of the guard.
And an advisor. And they expanded into other small villages, eventually collecting into what is now Direwood. Apparently they came into a forest and just found a plot of land they liked and called it home.
Yeah, something like that. We're kind of tired of our previous home. It wasn't a very good place. So my brother and I, we decided to leave and make a new home.
You must understand
Eventually more people joined.
You must understand how unbelievable it is for you to say that
really,
you are
the only
brother
person-
of the first king.
I understand how unbelievable it is. It's the only person who's believed me. Crazy wizard that was tortured and then killed. Same crazy wizard who says that Reginald is in that dust pile.
These are strange times.
He was the only one who seemed to believe me. Maybe if you knew where my sword was,
Your sword.
you could... Yes, my sword.
I'd have no idea.
Maybe you know someone who would.
No, I don't think I
It's a
do.
sword and a shield.
Make a perception check for me.
Is this one.
Oh! Fuck. Okay. You say it was a sword and a shield, and the moment you say it was a sword and a shield, you notice it's very slight, but his eyes widen just a little bit and then return to normal, as if he's trying to hide something. He didn't expect you to say a shield. And he says, I'm sorry, I wouldn't know anything about that. I'll look into it for you if you'd like.
Are you lying to me?
He looks you directly in the eyes and says, why would I lie to you?
Because your eyes widen at the mention of a shield.
It's just odd.
If I reclaim my weapon and my shield, it would help prove who I am.
I'll keep that in mind.
Very well.
He nods and he stands up and he unlocks the door for you, opens it, and gestures for you to leave.
And I do.
Okay.
Cute.
Okay.
Penis, balls.
All right.
And that's when I said, "Corn dog who?"
Shit.
Hold it.
So,
What's the largest age difference that's okay in your mind for dating?
for me or
In your opinion?
Yeah,
What?
Mr. H play.
what do you like? It depends. If you're like, it depends on how old the person you're in reference is.
No, give us the.
I'm asking
Give
for
us
a
an
number,
age.
like a
No,
range.
okay, hold it. Let's think about this. What is the minimum age, maximum age that you're okay with a relationship being?
It depends on how old a 40-year-old and a 50-year-old is fine,
No,
but a 10-year-old
listen.
and a 20-year-old is not. I can't just give
Listen,
you a
We're
number.
talking
Listen.
over.
I'm
We're talking
legality
18 and
here.
above.
18 and
We're
okay, 18 and over. Okay, so we're gonna assume
If
one
you
person is
see-
18.
An 18-year-old dating a 65-year-old, that's ishy.
That's
You're good.
gold digger. Okay, if we're assuming one person is 18, I'd say the lowest the lowest age I would like not really get kind of grossed out by would probably be like upper 20s. I think 30 would be the cutoff. Like 20, let's say 28. 10 years then.
Interesting.
10 years and that wouldn't be weird to me.
Interesting.
It'd be a little weird, but it's like it'd probably be fine.
You're just basically like, all right, that's weird, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but it's their thing, she's an adult or he's an adult,
But if I walk over to you, I'm like, oh, I'm 12.
Blake, please let me know when she comes back in the room so I can go shit, because I have to shit.
Okay. So
She is showering, my guy.
I know. That's why I said let me know when she comes back into the room.
I don't
Throw the
really-
cat in there.
Is there anything else anybody would like to do throughout the rest of the night? I'm going to tell you right now, unless you change it, it will go on without a hitch. If there's anything you'd like to do, take a bath, rest. It's
Ooh,
up to you
that
guys.
sounds
Them.
nice. I'll take a bath.
After I'm done praying, I'll fucking practice my swordplay for a little bit before going to bed.
You would,
Is that
as
what
you
they're
head
calling
to
it now?
the... You ask for directions to the worship area, and you're given them. And actually, on your way in, you catch Percy on his way out.
I'll just nod.
I nod back.
I fuck him.
Okay. And then you have passionate gay sex in the hallway.
Hell yeah. Oh, Schlicht. What?
I'd go to the barracks.
That's
and,
incest.
Like,
Fuck, you're right.
Okay, Menon, you can take a nice long bath. It's not super hot, but it's warm enough that it's relaxing.
Heck you.
I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
Unless there's anything else, then we will say the rest of the evening progresses. You know, Sam, you go and practice your sword play a bit. 6, is there anything else after your stretching? It doesn't look like you're going to get an opponent after that little slip.
have fun walking around.
Is there anything else you'd like to do with your evening, 6?
Nah, can you guys hear me? Am I robot?
I can hear you,
We can
Dad.
hear you.
I'm in
Okay.
love with your voice.
No, I'm okay. If any, yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Okay. Then we're gonna fast forward a bit to later in the evening. Just as the sun is setting. Well, or it would be setting. You can't really see. You can see the light shining through the clouds a little bit. It starts to get darker. A bell is rung in the courtyard, and everybody starts to make their way into the fortress. Would you guys like to follow?
Yes, I would.
What kind of bell was it?
I'll put my
It's,
armor on in some of my weapon beforehand.
It's a smaller bell, a higher pitch. It's just a ding 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 a ding.
Oh, like a dinner
Ooh.
bell.
Dinner. Zelfer slowly shuts his book,
Yeah, time to go eat babies.
take out the hand, rub it a few times, and then go to follow where people are going.
Okay. So everybody heads inside, following the others who are all crowding inside, and you find yourselves in a rather large banquet hall, large enough to house the roughly, including yourselves, maybe 100 people. You head inside. I assume you find each other and take your seats next to each other.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, Sam. So
I'll
you
do
follow.
that.
You'll
Sam's
probably
naked.
catch each other. Sam's naked. Oh, Percival, you were given a shirt. All right, he's probably taking a shit. I'll tell him when he gets back.
He's not taking.
He's taking a shirt.
I'm not taking a shit.
Oh, I thought you were taking a shit.
No, I had to walk around to us. I was gonna shit my pants.
Okay.
I don't know. It hit me like a fucking freight train. I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, I gotta.
You were given a shirt. It's actually slightly big,
Fuck.
but it was either that or way too tight,
I don't know.
like awkwardly tight, uncomfortably so.
Like
Like-
HR inappropriate type.
Like, it would have cut off your fucking blood flow tight.
Well, not that tight.
Oh,
like,
no, he would've
just
flexed
really
it.
uncomfortably tight.
Like if he flexed, it would break.
Anyway, so you have a shirt, maybe slightly big, and you guys head inside. You find each other in this mess hall, and it seems that there are a few rangers in different attire, kind of passing out food, bringing plates and tankards around of water. It smells good. It seems some sort of stew has been made with potatoes and maybe some vegetables, and it smells good. It's humble but good, and you guys are all given your share as well. You're treated like any other ranger, and you guys sit down to eat with the cloaked rangers. Is there any conversation amongst yourselves?
I look to the nearest ranger. Have you ever killed anyone?
The nearest one would be a larger man, maybe slightly overweight. Who looks over to you and says, "No, have you?"
Yeah, I ripped his face off and peeled him.
His eyes widen. He goes, "Cool, and he kind of looks away from you and goes back to eating.
that's cool, man. Happy to share that with you.
I'm gonna look to the next ranger nearest to me. Have you ever killed a man?
That would be across the table. It's a taller, skinnier man this time. He looks over and says, "No, not myself. I've killed rats, rat folk. No, I have not ripped a man's face off." And there are a couple chuckles nearby.
Do you want his hand?
You want his hand?
Yeah,
Oh,
love to have the hand of a man whose face was ripped off.
I pull out the hand and I extend it to him.
I hand it to him.
He immediately the hand is looking disgusting. It's like
Over.
rotting a little bit. He
Out
immediately.
at the table, please.
Oh, okay. I put it back in my bag.
And all of the rangers within the immediate vicinity of you guys get up and find different spots.
Oh, damn. Do they leave? Does any of them leave their food?
No, they take their food with them.
Fucker. My plan did not work.
Yeah.
I looked to 6. Some people just don't have a sense of humor.
Jesus Christ.
That's
Okay.
true.
Some time passes. You guys eat, and
Fucker.
we're winding down. When a rather stout man walks to the front of the banquet hall, takes his
Big
tankard,
boy.
takes his tankard, and starts tapping it with some utensils, making a loud clanging sound throughout the hall, and everybody turns their attention to him, and he says, "Hello, you all know me.
I don't actually.
Do you actually say that?
Yeah, I feel like I would since I don't know him.
Okay, in this hall full of maybe 100 people who are all just looking at him, and you say, "I don't actually." But he says, "Well, yes.
Me neither.
The new ones. My name is Brutus.
I also don't know who you are.
My name is Brutus. And
Hi,
Brutus.
Hi, Brutus.
and there are a couple of chuckles throughout the hall.
Brutus.
There are a couple of you guys do get some chuckles, and he says, "Right. Well,
I look at the nearest
as
guy
we all
and go,
know,
cool. It's rooted.
Reginald, or Reggie to his friends, a couple more chuckles, has been missing for over a couple of weeks. And as per our rules, once a ranger is unaccounted for 2 weeks, we must consider the worst." And
Those are odd rules.
Say a sort of a somber, mood sweeps across the hall. He says, "Me and some of the boys have been thinking about it, and we don't know a lot, but
Me
we're
and the boys.
fairly certain
Cracking open
he's
cold ones.
no longer with us. And I think we'd like to hold a memorial service tomorrow, unless anybody has any
Has no one ever
objections."
come back after 2 weeks?
Is it said out loud? Was that said out loud?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Connection again. You asked, has nobody ever come back after 2 weeks? And he says, "Usually the cutoff is 3 days here in Direwood. Usually if somebody is unaccounted for 3 days, we find them dead. Or never find them at all. So 2 weeks is...
First 48.
2 weeks is quite an extension of that. I know, and at this point, you guys actually see a couple tables away Ravina stand up and start to walk out. And there's a kind of awkward silence in the room as she slams the door behind her as she leaves.
I'm gonna run after her.
Okay, you do so.
Was I finished eating?
Good.
You're all just about finished eating, yeah.
Okay, I also just leave. I don't run after
Yeah.
Ravina, but I just walk out.
Okay. And the rest of you hear him continue his speech. He says, "We'll hold it at as the night breaks tomorrow, in our traditional sense. I haven't gotten the commander's permission, but as per our own rules, I'm sure he'll be fine with this. And thank you all for your attention." Then he goes and sits back down, and there's kind of a hush across the dining hall as everybody finishes their food silently and leaves. Menon, you rush out to find Ravina, and you catch her leaving the fortress, heading outside. Okay, Samuel, you go to train a bit more. And Six also, you two head out to the courtyard and train as you will. If you can.
And also 6.
Yes, I said you two. What? 6 was running with Ravina. Okay, thank you. Okay, and Sam, you can train with your sword, hand to hand, whatever you'd like. And 6 runs up. Menon, you catch her first. She's out in the courtyard, seemingly fighting back tears, her fist also clenched. And then I'll let you get a couple words in before 6 catches up.
Are you okay?
I
mean, I know it's a stupid question, but...
I'm just angry. This is ridiculous. They don't know. I want to tell them so bad what's going on, but they don't know. The commander hasn't told them. He doesn't want to scare them with the interplanar bullshit, but he's not dead. I do not want to go through a funeral service for my brother who might not be dead. And then 6, you catch up as she's saying this.
No offense, but I don't fully understand what's so hard to understand about another plane. Like, there are all sorts of beings from other planes in our world, like Genasi and, elves, fairies.
Have you traveled much?
A lot.
Well, then you should know that most kingdoms completely outlaw interplanar travel and try to spread the belief that it doesn't exist.
Oh,
Direwood
yeah.
was no exception.
I kind of... it might not seem like it when I'm running with everybody else, but I don't pay too much attention to laws.
Ah. And she smiles just a little bit, and then 6, you approach.
I do.
And she looks at both of you and says, "Thank you for your concern, but I'm just angry because I already know what's gonna happen. They're gonna ask me to sing for it. It's gonna be this whole ceremony, and the commander's gonna go along with it, and I hate it."
Well,
Jesus.
we're all leaving in the morning to find your brother. Maybe you should come with us.
We'd be more than happy to sneak you out.
Maybe.
We could use you.
I mean, you're probably the most competent in this situation of all of us.
We'll see about that. I don't know. It would look rather odd if on the day of my brother's funeral I just left with the newcomers. Speaking of, have you made a decision about whether you'll join us?
Don't get caught forehead.
Well, we
Don't fucking get caught.
it's under consideration.
Right.
We, as you can probably tell, wouldn't fit in precisely with the rank and file of your system here, but we're working with. Your
Dude, there's
commander.
so much noise going on. If you got like plastic or shit you're crinkling, fucking mute yourself for a sec, please. I can't hear Jason because everyone's fucking doing other shit.
What was I saying?
You were saying you were considering, but you wouldn't fall in the rank and file.
Yes, but we have spoken with and he may be able to use us in other ways.
Okay, that's fair. I don't know. I'll consider leaving with you guys, but I don't want to arouse too much suspicion. If I leave and the commander just goes along with it, it could be odd. Well, I'll speak with the commander about it before we head to bed. Thank you.
Wait, we as in...
Before the camp heads to bed.
Oh, I thought you were...
She's welcome in my bed.
There's nothing between me and the commander. There's nothing going on.
Okay.
I don't have any feelings for him. I don't know why you'd think that.
Oh, it's all my bad.
She's welcome in my bed.
She's blushing a little bit, and she says, "Anyway, I'm going. I'm going to the barracks." And she rushes
Didn't
off.
you say you had feelings for some bear manners?
He says from the mess hall, "Didn't you have
Yep.
feelings for?"
I hear you in there.
Yeah. Okay. The rest of you in the mess hall. What are you doing?
Trying
Eating.
to hear as many people as possible. I finished my
Voraciously.
food.
Yep.
I'm gonna head. Do I know the library was completely empty, right?
Yeah, when you were there the first time.
I'm gonna go there. Is it completely empty still?
Yeah.
I'm gonna find a secluded place where people can't. I could hear people before they see me, and I am gonna attempt to. I'm gonna hide the hand and go to the barracks and go to sleep.
Hide the hand
I was also gonna
in
go
the
to
library?
for-
Yes.
Okay, well, you head to the library, and it seems Percy is coming with you.
It was Colonel Mustard
Maybe
with the hand in the
after-
library.
After I'm done eating, yeah.
Okay, so Zelfer, you go there. Are you hiding? You're hiding the hand in the library.
Yes.
Make a stealth check.
I stick my hand out. Get us?
Get it? Get it? Get it? Okay. You find a little nook in one of the shelves where it seems some books are missing. It's kind of toward the back. It's kind of dusty back there. It doesn't look like it gets much attention. And you're able to kind of slip the hand back in behind some books that look like they haven't been touched in ages. All right, and Percival, you were heading to the library as well?
I was gonna look for any books about the 10 classes. Colossi? 10 Colossi?
Okay. There are some general history books about Direwood that perhaps would have something about them in there. But nothing specifically about them.
Oh, damn. What about the old king and maybe his family heritage?
Your best bet would be some general history books.
I will start reading them.
Okay.
For free.
I will tell you what you gathered from that later.
Epic!
Okay. Is there anything anyone would like to do before you guys head to bed then?
I sneak out to go to bed. As I pass Percy, I hid something. Don't try to find it.
Oh, fuck me.
Percy, while you're in the library, make a perception check with disadvantage.
What if I don't want to find it? What if I don't look?
This isn't for looking.
Oh, this is for scent.
Yeah, it's for scent. Okay. You don't smell it. Okay. You have no idea what he did. You have no idea what he did.
We're the best.
How far is it to the Rattling Refuge?
To what is marked as the Rattling Refuge on your map?
Across the city.
Yeah, it is. It
Oh
is
wait,
a fair
that's not the
distance.
Rattling Refuge. Okay.
Number 9
Oh,
is
it's
what we want.
quite a ways.
Quite a ways, yeah.
Got it. Okay, but yeah, and that would be similar. Okay, never mind.
Okay. Then if all of you are heading to bed, you can take your long rests, and you did all complete your level 6 level ups, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect, beautiful. Okay. Zelfer, I'm going to take you to Secrets for just a moment.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Does Zelfer dream?
Yes, he does.
Okay, good. As you fall asleep, you drift into slumber. You feel the loss of your sense of body and slip into your own mind. And there's a name flowing through your head like a river, over and over. Zulad, 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 in the same voice that demon statue had said it to you. He said it had something to do with your past, and it's flowing through you unendingly. And you see, suddenly, in your dreams, fires and flames, maybe an explosion. Everything's moving too fast. And for a brief moment, you see a face, and you hear Zulad, Zulad, Zulad. And the face looks humanoid enough, but you don't get... It has very soft features, but you can't quite make out anything in particular. And as you're trying to focus in on the face, you lose it, as it is devoured by a gargantuan snake. And then darkness and emptiness, except for a voice that calls out to you and says, "How would you like to be my new champion, Slayer of Kings?"
What do I get?
Powers beyond your imagination.
Would my friends be okay with this?
Does it matter?
If it didn't, I wouldn't have asked.
I know not of your friends. It matters not to me.
What's the downside?
Your allegiance to
do I have?
Dendar. I am the Night Mother, Eater of Worlds. And you have slain my champion.
Oh, I know who that is.
How would you like to be my new champion? The Slayer of Kings.
Sure.
Sure?
Sure.
Yes. You will know when the time comes. I will have you pledge your allegiance to me. You will know.
Okay.
You say
Can I go back to bed now?
Yes.
Cool.
And then you return to the dreams of Zulad. Zulad. Just echoing through your heads like a river. And we'll go back.
Oh,
Didn't see that coming. Okay. You all rest. You can take your long rest. And you awake in the morning to a bell ringing. Different bell. A deeper and slower chime. It seems to be sort of a wake-up call for everyone. And there's a rustling of sheets and, people getting up and getting dressed out of their, night apparel and returning to their usual business in the base.
Hey, Mr. Six.
How
yes.
wait?
Mm-hmm.
How likely is it to my Toll the Dead bell?
Quite similar, actually. It's not as deep, not as loud, but
Okay,
sounds kind of
Percy would be
similar.
able to distinguish it then.
Yeah, he would.
Okay, the Percy gets up.
Mr. Six.
Yes.
I consider you to be an intelligent person.
That's clever of you.
What do you know of a creature known as the Night Mother?
I can't say I know a thing.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I
Sure you-
can't. I would
Six.
like to. I would like to make a roll here.
Make a religion check.
Possible? Religion.
With disadvantage.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Great.
this isn't something you would have particularly encountered, but
Should it work?
okay. You think you've heard that before? It sounds pretty evil. It's not something you've ever encountered, anyone worshiping or anything about in your own travels.
I've heard of
It's similar to the name of a meatloaf. That's pretty much all I know.
I've heard something about a Night Mother.
What do you know of the Night Mother, Zelfer?
Zelfer?
T.
What?
What do you
What do I
know
know?
of the Night Mother?
Oh, it came to me in a dream.
I see.
I might have
to
sort of done something
everyone
probably
else.
not good.
This is bad.
When aren't you, bud?
Smiles and gives a huge thumbs up and walks away to the library to go see if I can find a book on the Night Mother.
I just shake my head and then ask Percy.
Yeah, can Percy roll if he knows anything about Sam's shield
And sword.
and sword?
Make a history check with advantage.
I'm doing that.
Yeah, you actually recall a sword. There was a glowing sword that was kept in a locked away keep in the castle.
That's my sword.
You don't remember
Hey,
a
yeah,
shield,
I recall that there is this glowing sword that's locked
No
away
shield.
that keeps in the castle.
but no shield. Not that you remember.
Do you remember where to find the key to this keep?
Would I remember where to find the key to this keep?
No.
No.
I would like to check it out.
Well, then we shall do that. I'd say.
Find a way in.
Which I do.
Okay.
It's your sword. It's rightfully yours. I've got my sword. Why can't the other man have his sword?
Okay. Menon, what are you doing this morning?
Hmm. I'm
Pondering.
gonna go find somewhere that I can get some like pancakes or something.
You can go get breakfast, sure. Yeah.
There's an IHOP down the street.
Yeah,
I
and there's an
want
IHOP down the street.
pancakes.
Yeah. It's
I
not
absolutely love
pancakes,
pancakes.
but there is bread and butter,
You're the worst.
and
that's
just a
good
very
enough, I
very
guess.
basic breakfast. in the hall.
Toast.
6.
I am just preparing to go. The dude
Oh
said
my
he
gosh.
had mages, right?
Wait, I can flavor it with prestidigitation, and I make my buttered toast taste like
Your butter, it tastes like delicious pancakes.
blueberry pancakes.
Blueberry
Hell yeah.
pancakes. Hell yeah. All right. 6. You were
Yeet.
saying?
The whatever his name was last night said that they had mages right here, just not from the Mages Guild. Is that correct?
I'm sorry. It's a little hard to understand you. So what about the Mages Guild? Something appeared?
Okay. I'll type it out.
Please do. In the meantime, Zelfer, you had that thing about the Night Mother, and then you walked off. What are you doing?
I go to the I'm trying to walk by as many rangers as I can.
Mm-hmm.
I keep looking at them going, someone stole my hand.
Most of them just give you weird looks and look and see that you have both your hands attached. So, yeah, you get a lot of weird looks, buddy.
My hand! People stole my... And then I head to the library.
Oh my god.
And I'm gonna try to find a book on the Night Mother.
Okay. Why don't you roll... Just roll a d20 for me. Sadie, hey, no. Sadie is rolling dice.
2.
What'd she roll?
She rolled an 8 on a d10.
That's
Good
not too bad.
job.
Your
Good
cat's
cat.
better
Good
than
cat.
Good cat.
Yeah,
8
yeah.
out of 10.
You're not able to... It doesn't look like there's anything pertaining to any dark deities in here. Let's see. And 6, yes. You were... They did, in fact... Jason's second character. 6, you do, in fact, recall that the commander mentioned having mages not connected to the Mages Guild, though they weren't incredible. He basically kind of made it sound like they weren't super powerful, but familiar with the arcane. What would you like to do pertaining to them? Are you trying to find them? Nope. Okay. Just ready to go. Okay. Is there anything anybody else would like to do before you guys decide what to do next?
Percy moons the entire night.
Okay.
I'll ask the commander if he knows about the keep.
About the what?
The keep at the castle.
Okay. You're able to actually catch him in the mess hall in the morning. He's sitting kind of by himself, just eating some bread, and seems to be deep in thought. And you walk over and you ask him, "Hey, have you ever heard of this?" And he looks up at you and says, "Yes, actually, there are several keeps in the castle. And we went through and cleared them all out. Cleared them of what was left, while we were trying to get the city in order 15 years ago. After the explosion, many took to looting the castle, and there wasn't much left."
My compatriot says that my sword was locked up in one of the castle's keeps.
Your sword.
Yes.
Did
you find it? Could it still be there?
What did it look like?
It glows.
Does it look like the commander's sword by any chance?
Commander does not have a sword on him.
Why not? What kind of little bitch boy doesn't carry a big sword all the time?
He doesn't appear to have any weapons on him.
You know what they say. Speak softly, carry a big stick.
Um,
Or speak loudly and carry a fucking gun.
He tells you we found some swords and various equipments that we use now. What did it look like? You were saying?
It glows.
It glows. No.
It had an orb in the center of the blade.
I do not recall such a thing. He averts his gaze from you.
Were there any keeps that were locked?
All of them. But they were broken into.
Can I roll insight?
On what?
To see if I can find out why he averted it. Maybe he's lying to me.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you notice that he averts his gaze whenever you talk about the glowing sword. He's You're not sure what he's lying about, but he's not being entirely honest. It sounds like he's telling you a half-truth, perhaps.
I'll mention that to him.
You're just gonna outright say it sounds. I feel like you're telling me half the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, frankly, whether I am or not doesn't really matter. You're in my fortress. You are my guest, and I will tell you what you need to know, and nothing more.
What I need to know is how to get my weapon back.
Well, I wish you luck on your search.
Well, how about this? Here's an ultimatum. I won't help you find your missing man. Unless you help me get my weapon and my shield back.
Then you are free to leave whenever you'd like.
And I do.
Okay. He's getting hostile, Sammy boy. Push him. Okay, so you walk off. I assume after a certain events, you guys eventually all kind of corral in the courtyard, based on Ravina grabbing you guys. And she gets you in the courtyard, and she says, so, have you made any decisions as a group about what you would like to do?
Currently walking out.
You're just walking out of the keep?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you just walk away, and she goes,
He told me.
Oh.
I tell her that I won't join liars.
She gives you
or half-truthers.
If you will.
She gives you a very inquisitive, like a very like one eye cocked, like eyebrow cocked, like what are you on about? Look, and
I'll tell her.
You just tell her the conversation you had.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "Well, if he is keeping something from you, I promise it's for your own good. He's not an evil man. He has good intentions, and to be fair, he is the commander."
I'm sorry, but I won't help find Reginald until I get my weapon and shield back, or at least until he starts telling me the truth as to where they are.
So you would like to punish me and Reginald for my commander's actions? Is that what you're telling me? Well, then you're free to go.
And I leave.
Okay. Sam walks off, and she looks to the rest of you. Well, I take it he won't be joining us. What about the rest of you? I'm sure the commander is still ready to offer you. He's quite upset about this sword. It seems very important to him. Frankly, I'm a little surprised the commander wouldn't tell him more. There must be something we don't know. I don't know. Somebody put Asterium in his cornflakes. Okay, you guys, Menon and Six say they're in. What do you mean you're in? Would you like to join us, or would you prefer to go the route of being hired agents?
Honestly, I thought you said I want a John.
I want a John. What about you, Percival?
I wanted to talk to the commander in private.
I'm sure that can be arranged before you or we go. And Zelfer.
What? Oh.
What?
What do you mean, what?
What?
I was asking you, what? What?
He leans in close. Do you know what the Night Mother is?
Her eyes kind of
calms instantly.
She goes, Dendar? That's the snake, yeah?
Oh, now we're getting somewhere. What do you know about snakes?
Not much.
They sometimes reside on planes.
I've heard horror stories. Wow. We actually, a few years ago, took out a cult that was worshipping Dendar. They had all these snake statues. It was so creepy. They were talking about how he would come back and he was going to consume Direwood, and this was the prophecy. It's really scary, actually.
Oh, so bad. Bad.
Yeah, big bad. Very bad.
Okay, Rat King.
He looks at Percy and goes, oops.
She goes, what do you mean, oops?
What did you do?
What did you do?
I've done nothing yet that I know of. Well,
she looks kind of entertained and kind of bewildered. She goes, what do you mean?
Oh, I would like to withhold making a decision on anything until we realize we get the group back together.
Okay. Well, this is unfortunate that Sam has left. And there seems to be a bit of a disagreement about whether you want to be soldiers under us.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know what that was.
You don't want to know.
Whether you want to join or become hired on agents. I would say the commander, he probably wouldn't like me telling you this, but it was sort of all or nothing to him. It was either you all joined, or none of you. If you couldn't come to a consensus, he didn't want you on board. He wanted to know that you're capable of working together cohesively before taking you on. So, I'm sure the offer will still stand, and don't tell him I mentioned that to you. He wanted it to be a bit of a test, but I would really like to have you on board. So, if you want to go catch up with your friend, maybe try to come to some sort of consensus. Does Menon say that out loud? Yeah. She says, your commander's a bit of a cunt, isn't he? And she actually looks quite offended at you saying that. She says, no, he's a great man.
Minus the cuntiness part.
Oh, man, the hard shit.
He's
I
just
say from outside
he's got his own agenda, and I promise it's for the best for Direwood and for the Cloaked Rangers and for the people he's trying to protect. Sometimes he works in mysterious ways, but it always works out. He's never been wrong. He's got a huge agenda. She blushes a bit. And she's like, I not that I would know.
Zelfer looks up and goes, you can be a good person and still be a cunt.
Perhaps. He might agree with you about that.
He taps his forehead like he just made a revelation.
He goes, yeah, maybe he is a bit of a cunt, but then so am I.
Okay, cunt.
Some decisions, to be honest. She responds to Menon, it's not by force. If you want to walk away from this, you always can. I was really hoping that you might join us one way or another. You're not real dead. There's always you really have 3 choices if you'd like. You could join us, become rangers. You could become hired agents by us, or you could just leave. As much as I'd like to work with you, you have this option. There's no force here.
What if Dumbledore wore jeans?
You could even wait on it if you wanted. You could come back in a month. But with Reginald's life on the line, I'd rather get an answer sooner than later. Really, you should go catch up with your friend. I don't know what he's doing. He seems
to be walking away.
Yeah, you should probably catch up.
I can.
And come back. I'll let the guards know to let you in. You can come back whenever you're ready.
Can they have chicken wings for me?
Tell you what, I'll arrange myself.
Are you fucking high right
If you guys come to a consensus to join us one way or another, then you can do some good work for us. I'll arrange to have you have a chicken dinner on my own terms.
Fuck yeah.
If that's what you mean.
Okay.
Friend is a strong word, honey. Okay, so it sounds like everybody's Sam, I assume you're not like running away, you're just walking away kind of angrily. No?
I'm waiting outside the fucking fortress.
Oh, okay. Well, they all catch up with you. There are 2 guards standing up front. Different guards this time. And you're kind of just nearby waiting, and the rest of the party comes out to find you. And they catch you.
Hello, Sam. You ran away.
Hey, big guy, what's cracking?
I didn't run. I walked.
You walked away at a leisurely pace.
They told me if I don't agree, then leave. I left.
Agree with what?
The commander seems to be hiding stuff. And I will not work with people who...
He's not hiding the fact that he's a cunt.
No, he's not hiding that.
Don't you hide things?
No.
I mean, everyone hides something.
I don't hide anything. Have you hidden anything?
Yes, I did. I hid a hand in the library.
Technically, anybody wearing clothes is hiding something.
He seems completely honest saying that, and you're not rolling shit. He seems very
He
honest.
looks visibly uncomfortable with the fact he's wearing a shirt.
Take it off.
Wait, 6 asked Venus to see if she could find anything about the sword. Sorry, it's just really difficult with 2 of my players typing and 3 talking to keep up with all of it. If you had asked her about the sword, she would say she could look into it, but if the general, or if the commander rather, had said no, then he's still her commander, and she might not be able to find anything out. But she'd basically give you like, I'll try, but probably nothing. Anyway, back to our conversation.
The commander lied to me and said that he didn't know anything about it. And then I questioned him because I could tell that he was lying. and he said, honestly, I forgot what you just said. I relay the conversation.
He tells you about how, you know, he had asked the commander about the sword, and the commander seemed a bit dodgy, like half-truthy. He seemed to kind of want to steer away from it, and when he pressed further, basically the commander told him, listen, I don't know anything. And Sam told him, if you don't help me with this, I'm not going to help you with Reggie. And so the commander told him, you can leave if you'd like. And so he did.
What made...
What?
Yeah, he starts to think. Silver starts to kind of think. He mumbles over his words a little bit, and then goes, Some.
Yes.
What if we could get a compromise out of the commander?
Good luck.
But what if we could?
And how do you plan on compromising? And what exactly is it that you plan on compromising?
Servitude. Us helping him out for information as our prize over gold. I'm willing to sacrifice my share of our rewards for you to get answers on your sword.
See, I would agree to that. However, it still stands. I do not agree for working with or for a person who hides things.
Blake, is Kristen back yet?
She is right next to me.
Okay. Then I believe Topper's gonna be here shortly, and then I propose we take like a 15-minute break so I can poop.
Okay. We're coming back right now. We're returning to our party, standing just outside of the Cloaked Ranger Fortress, debating and deciding what they're gonna do about the Cloaked Rangers.
I say we masturbate to all of them. I say we go and try to get a compromise out of the commander.
Personally, I don't want to join. That's because I don't like people outranking me.
Oh, boo, you big baby.
I
Yeah.
have my own demons to deal with. He smiles while he says that.
No.
I won't join just because I won't join people who lie.
Well, that's two saying no. Two have said yes.
Oh, I'm not saying I won't do it. I'm just not gonna enjoy it.
Remember, you did have 3 options: walk away, join as paid agents, or join properly.
I am a agent option.
Pages, if you will.
Agents. That's essentially what we're doing with our friend the wizard there.
The guards nearby, maybe like 15, 20 feet away at the front gate, you notice they're definitely like staring at you guys and listening.
Hello, people
And then-
who are staring at us.
I'm
I'm gonna
saying
turn
that
around and lock
after,
eyes with someone. One of them.
after we all join, all the guards should be bowing down to us. Fucking heels, you know?
The guards at the gate kind of look at each other and shake their heads and.
It's called a joke. You should laugh at that.
Percy, you want me to kill the 2 eavesdroppers?
If you kill them, then that'll be sad. So no.
He stares at them.
You notice them gripping their spears fairly tight.
I pull
No
out the
hate
spinal
killing.
cord and spin it in a circle like a baton.
Oh,
No
I
hate
wanna-
killing.
I want to lock eyes with one of them and have like a staring con.
He stares at you for a moment and then sees the spinal cord being flung around and kind of like shrinks back and then looks directly ahead of him.
I look at the guy. Would you like some teeth?
They're both now looking quite intimidated, staring directly ahead, not saying a word, just guarding, doing their job.
I want to get close to him.
They have enough.
Well, I just want to make sure. I'm gonna get up close with one of them. Are you sure you don't want some extra teeth?
My teeth are fine, thank you.
Yeah.
Let me see them.
Let me see them.
That's all right. That's quite all right.
Your teeth.
He
Hand
wants
them
to be a
over.
dentist.
I boop him on the nose. How does he respond?
He kind of winces.
He shits all of his pants.
He winces, but doesn't do anything. The other says, "Do not touch us, please."
What are you gonna do about it?
The guards look at each other, and one knocks on the wood behind him 3 times, and you hear some shuffling, and several cloaked rangers, with 3 cloaked rangers to be exact, with bows kind of man the walls up above them and start watching
Only
you guys.
3?
Only
That's
3.
an insult.
It is kind of an insult. I mean, he watches you guys, thinks about his next words, go, if you could try not to listen in again, we won't have another problem.
You can talk somewhere else.
You can listen elsewhere.
How close is Percy to the guards?
Probably just 10 feet away.
He's gonna look right at him, take 1 step forward, and go, "If you're not careful, I will shit your pants."
What'd you say? If you're not careful,
If
what?
you're not careful, I will shit your pants.
I
No,
will shit
one of them
in your
actually,
pants
one of the guards
for you.
above, one of the guards above with the bows actually starts cracking up at that, and then one kind of nudges him, and he stops and just continues watching.
I lean in close and go, don't underestimate him. I've seen him do it.
This time, the one you're leaning in close to kind of actually cracks his smile, and he's like, "You're a weird bunch."
Yeah, but we get shit done. And in pants.
It's not as weird as having someone else shit your pants.
I know where you sleep. If you're not careful, I'll sneak in and shit your pants.
Now 2 guards on the walls above are laughing.
Like, I bet you shit your pants, but it's something else when someone else, especially that muscle man over there, shits your pants.
Imagine me squatting in your pants, shitting.
Squatting in your
Now
pants.
the 2 guards on the 2 guards on the ground and 2 guards on the walls above are just chuckling at various levels.
He eats a lot of fiber.
Percy kind of stutters at that one, and he's like, "Okay, you're playing into."
And so much corn.
Menon
like
is
some
fucking
soup.
losing
Fuck
it, man.
off with the corn. Eat my ass. You're such a bitch.
One of the guards, the one guard who isn't laughing up top, goes, "Are you sure you guys need us for this?" And one from on the ground calls back up, and waves his hand, and the 3 guards with the bows kind of, you hear them walking back
I
down
don't
some
need
steps.
you for anything.
I bet you look stupid, don't you? As he walks away.
I bet you look stupid, don't you?
Can you imagine calling up backup and hearing the conversation about shitting someone else's pants?
Oh man.
He lost all credibility that day.
Hold on, do I get a feat
That's
for that?
rude.
Can I shit other people's pants? You should make a spell that's called pants shitter or some
I
shit.
would- you know
point at
what?
Someone and then they empty their bowels.
I don't remember if it's prestidigitation or thaumaturgy. Still had trouble saying it. But one of those 2, you can soil clothing.
One of those 2, you can shit someone else's pants.
Oh, but
That would
you
be
can't shit their pants.
prestidigitation.
You can make with prestidigitation. You can make it smell like somebody shit their pants.
I look at him. I look at Percy. I turn to the guard who we've been threatening. Do you not believe us?
He kind of cracks a little smile and says, "I don't know what to believe."
I point at him from about 10 feet away.
Wait, so you take a
Snap.
step back
I take a step back to
and you
being 10 feet
point
away.
at him.
I point at him and go, Percy, should we shit his pants?
Fuck off! I'm not gonna shit anyone.
The one that you're pointing at,
mood.
knowing that you're a spellcaster and seeing you point at him makes him nervous, so he kind of draws his spear and kind of points it towards you. He's like, "What are you doing?"
I go,
And the other one is
"I'm-
just staring at him, smiling.
I'm shitting your pants. Prestidigitation to make his pants
I don't
No,
feel
like,
like shitting
so
anybody's
worse.
pants right now.
kind of shit.
It smells like he shit his pants. And he's like, "What the hell?" And he starts like patting his ass. He's like, "There's nothing. What?" And then the other guard, actually, I'm gonna make him. He completely believes that this other guy has shit his pants. So he's just he drops his spear. He's like grabbing his knees with his hands and like hunched over, laughing his ass off. He's like, "They actually did it! They actually did it!" And then the other guy's like, "No, I didn't. Look, there's nothing." And he like literally reaches into his pants and starts feeling around his ass. Pulls out his hand. He's like, "Look, it's clean. It's clean."
Look, there's no shit in my
The
pants.
second, wait, hold on. The second his hand comes out, because I can have 3 prestidigitations, I make his hand fucking brown.
Okay, so it's not actually shit, but you kind of, it kind of looks like there might be. He's like, "It's clean. It's good." What the hell? And he starts like trying to wipe it off, but it's just on his hand, so it doesn't wipe off. He's like, "What?" He starts pointing. The other guard is just fucking losing it, dude. He's fucking losing it. And the guard with Shitty Hands, Mr. Shitty Hands McGee over here, points at you, Zelfer, is like, cut this magic shit out.
I'm not the one who shit your pants, and I walk away.
Wait, yes you are. You're the one that shit his pants.
You did. Put it back.
Put your shit back.
Just take it away. Whatever this magic is. He smells his hand and doesn't smell shit, and so he's like, it doesn't smell. Look, what's you
refill my ass.
Undo it. Undo it. I don't. You fucking you spellcaster. Undo it.
Imagine someone telling you to fill their ass back.
The other guard is fucking on the ground. He's actually rolling, laughing.
Whoa! Are you accusing me of spellcasting?
Yes, I watched you do it.
Man.
I watched your hand glow as you did it.
I just shout out, that man shit his pants.
I use my third prestidigitation to make the spell worsen.
Oh my god. How long do these effects last?
An hour.
Oh my god.
He shit his pants for a whole hour.
I scream, this man shit himself.
He starts to leave his he starts to head into the keep, to the fortress, and immediately
leave your post.
No, immediately the other one, like, he's laughing, but he kind of like grabs his ankle from the ground. He's like, wait a minute, no, you can't leave your post. This is.
Dude, I'm fucking crying.
And the dude who quote unquote shit himself is just fucking fuming, and he's like,
you can't leave your post even if you shit yourself.
You wanna see another cool trick that I can do, yeah? I will unshit your pants for free. Most other people have to pay for this, but
he turns around and looks at you and says, please, with his teeth gritted.
Bada bing, bada boom, your pants now have more room.
As he does that, I dismiss it.
Oh, the smell kind of starts to dissipate. It lingers in the air for just a moment and it dissipates. And the other guard on the ground is still just, he's like trying to catch his breath. He's doing that wheezing thing that you do when you're laughing too long. He's like, he's like really just fucking losing it. He's on the ground. He's like covered in dirt from literally rolling on the ground laughing. Literally ruffling. And eventually he kind of collects himself and starts standing up, like still like little fits of laughter, and like uses his spear to pull himself up. And the other one is just standing there with his arms crossed, his spear now like wedged into the wall behind him. He's just arms crossed, just shaking his head angrily at you guys.
I look at Six. I don't know if I want to join a group that has guards who shit themselves.
Don't judge too quickly.
I'm judging pretty quick right now.
And you men and oops, what's that? And I poop. Oh, are you telling yourself are you telling me right now that you literally shit your pants from laughing?
No.
Oh, how fucking funny would that be?
Medicine actually shits herself.
Yeah, like actually. Okay. What are you guys doing now that that's over? Or I hope it's over.
I mean, she laughed so hard she nearly peed herself, and so did I.
Yeah.
I mean, are we ready to go to the mystery hole?
Where are we going? Away from the guy who shit himself? I'm down with that.
Shall I,
He says this loudly.
The guard looks so pissed. He's like looking down at the ground, arms crossed.
Shall I tell Ravina we're ready to go? I think we're gonna need one of those mages.
What are we gonna need a mage for?
To try to open the magic door.
Well, I already told them I wasn't gonna help.
Okay. Should I go tell Ravina that we're ready to go? I go tell Ravina that we're ready to go.
Okay. You go up to one of the guards and say, Ravina, please. And the one who was laughing a shit ton, sure, he leaves. And after a couple of minutes, Ravina comes out, and she says, "I heard you're ready to go. Does that mean you've made a decision? Are you leaving, or are you stacking dishes?"
Oh, we're talking about how your guard shit himself.
Uh-huh.
And the guard that quote unquote shit himself just kind of like slumps into the wall, arms crossed, and she looks at him and goes, "Did you?" And he says, "No, it was magic." And she goes, She looks at you guys and goes, "What did she? I don't need to know.
Ask
I don't
the
need
other
to know.
guard. No. Ravina,
I really don't need to know."
if you shit yourself, would you be honest about it? You gotta ask the man next to him who smelled it.
Did you? And she looks at the other guard. Did he? Pointing at you. Did he?
Listen, Ravina. Would you like me to demonstrate?
No, I don't think I would. So you did this? Did you?
No. We shit his pants.
Did you? Let me ask you this: did you use magic on one of my guards?
I didn't do anything.
That is considered an attack.
I did nothing.
You can't prove I did anything.
And she looks at the guard who was laughing a bunch and says, "Did he?" And the guard says, and the guard nods and says, "Yep, sure did." And she looks at the other one who's all angry, who's now like standing up straight and like staring right at you guys, and holding his spear. He goes, "Yeah, it was magic, all right." And she goes, "You guys, that's considered an attack. If you cast a spell on one of my men, that's I could.
It didn't hurt him though.
I could have you. This is." And
He's
she looks at him and
fine.
says, "Are you hurt?" And he says,
Just
"Not
try, baby."
physically.
Emotion.
My ego's a little bruised, but." Restyle and Chaz like, are they about to be arrested for pant shitting? And 6 says, your commander said you have mages. We may need one to find your brother to try to open the portal. Can this be arranged? She says, I could have one sent with you, I suppose. I'd have to get the commander's approval. And of course, I'd have to have one volunteer since you're not with us. Have you made a decision? Are you with us or not? I assume if you want to
No.
go complete this... No? Then why are you doing this?
A friend is a friend in need.
So you want to do this with no reward, no payment, no accolades. You're just gonna go do it.
It's our fault he wasn't rescued the first time, correct? We failed?
You failed to... I put that on you. This was my problem, and I
I'm
begged...
not gonna do it, but they're gonna do it, and I guess I'll just stand guard.
As Spider-Man once said in one of his movies, "Thump, pizza time."
Oh shit, pizza's here.
I fucking hate... Okay. She
Did you see what
says...
Menon said?
Commander, since you talk all about him so much, why don't you marry it? Commander! First and foremost, we want to find your brother. Everything else is second. Okay. She says, I suppose I appreciate that, but the commander won't be... And then after Menon kind of making fun of her for saying commander so much, she's like, Light won't be very happy about that.
You're a bitch.
What?
You're a bitch.
Oh my god.
You're a bitch, Holden.
What?
I can't believe you named him Light.
Why? What's wrong with that?
I mean, the fact that he's the lead star in the live-action movie on Netflix, Death Note, which is phenomenal, puts the
It's
anime
not
to
Death Note.
shame.
It's
if you
not
ask
Death
me.
Note. It's not Death Note.
That is totally Death Note.
Does Menon actually say ooh first name basis? Yes. And she goes, I shouldn't have said that. I'll go talk to him about it. Just wait here. And she blushes and storms off.
I really got him.
Look, hey, I'd love to be considered for the hired
He
agent
named
thing,
the
even if
commander
these
Light.
guys aren't. But first, I want to find him. Okay. Menon, you bitch. Okay.
You're a fucking. Oh God, you're edgy.
So
And I'm the edgy one.
she heads inside. You guys, it's about 10 minutes. Is there anything you'd be doing in these 10 minutes other than harassing the guards?
No.
No,
I
okay.
have nothing.
Okay, she comes back out after about 10 minutes with
I'd asked to read that book
what book?
that Zelfer just got.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Isaac. Yep.
I mean,
I'd
Yeah, what's going on?
asked Zelfer if I can read that book about the tale of two brothers.
No, I'm not done with it.
Okay then.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sam, but I don't give up my possessions, so I'm done with them. And the other one who's trying to go against everyone
Pizza
else.
time.
pizza time.
Thump. Pizza
No.
time.
You
And
can't say
Zilvergard actually stands up a bit taller than normal.
Okay.
Just because
Which isn't much taller.
your pride's been injured doesn't mean we let someone die.
Whoa, I missed something here.
I figure you'd be all.
Okay. So, yeah, but eventually, while this is happening, that conversation takes place. Ravina comes back outside with a short little
Loaded gun.
with a little dwarven man. Not very.
You're short.
Most dwarves are quite broad and stocky. This guy's a little. He's kind of thin, kind of small.
Wink.
He almost looks like a halfling. Honestly, he's quite small. But when he speaks, he has a very booming voice, and he says, "Hello." And it's very unexpected. And one of the guards actually kind of looks at it and is like, "Oh," it's like laughs a little bit.
What's your name, short man?
My name is Astromir. It's good to meet you.
Did you know the other guard shit himself?
I had heard, and that's hilarious. And the other guard kind of like socks him on the shoulder and is like, "Shut up." And he kind of gives a little, "Oh, prestidigitation. What a spell, am I right?"
Yes, this is a spell.
And he says, "Well, I hear you're after Reginald, or Reggie as I like to call him. He hates that, you know. I'd like to help.
We've been told.
I've been studying the arcane for quite some time. Hopefully I can make something of this. If you'd like to lead me to this trap door, I'd love to help. Even if you aren't one of us, I trust you, if you're after Reggie."
Let's
And
do it. It's
Ravina-
right this way.
All right. And Ravina says,
Sorry, Ravina went in.
Ravina says, "Thank you, Astromir. You don't know how much." And he holds up his hand and says, "Not a problem. He was my friend too." Okay. And Astromir will join you guys.
All right.
We got a
You're
dwarf.
our first dwarf.
Can we tell by looking at him what like class he is?
Well, he
Well,
did
he's
say he's
certainly
been.
not a barbarian.
He said he's been studying the
I
arcane for
mean,
many years. You can
Lower
surmise
grades.
from
Oh,
that.
Oh, I get it.
I look at him. So you can do magic.
Sure can.
I look
You
at
really
him.
take that as a personal insult here?
I look at him with my back behind him. I'm gonna put my hands behind my back.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna message Isaac how many fingers I'm holding. I'm gonna ask him how many fingers am I holding up.
Wait,
I'm so confused.
I don't know what
I
you're
am
trying to do
asking-
right now.
I am bullshitting magic with him.
Okay.
So his helper is gonna look at him and go, "You know magic."
Yes, sir.
All right, holding my hand behind my back.
Mm-hmm.
How many fingers am I holding up?
And he kind of squints and says, "Duh, how would I know that?
Magic, duh.
Not my kind of magic, then."
You are not as good as you think you are. Then I can tell you how many fingers I'm holding up with my magic.
That's
3.
incredible. Wow. How'd you do that? Yeah, that little smirk comes across his face. That's amazing. I had no idea. You must be very adept. And he looks.
I'm not.
He looks at the rest of the party and winks.
Excellent. I like this guy.
Yeah.
All right.
He seems alright.
I'll just
Right,
give
that's
that to
right.
you guys. Just if
Oh.
you're keeping notes for any reason. Astromir, Wizword. All right, so you guys would like to lead Astromir back to Zimmer's old place?
Sure.
Sure thing.
Yes, we would like to do that.
Okay, I need whoever's going to be leading the party, whether that be 1 or 2 people, I need 2 d6s to be rolled total.
Sure.
So if it's 2 people, I need
I'll-
1d6 each. If it's 1 person leading, it's 2d6.
I'll roll 1.
Okay, and who else would like to take lead?
Not
Person?
Zelty.
Sure, why not? First of all,
All right. You want to roll that 6er?
roll 2d6 or roll 1d6?
Just
1d6,
1d6, please.
Okay.
Okay. As you guys you enter the nearest gate, and or rather, would you like to enter the nearest gate or the further gate next to Zimmer's place?
Let's not the nearest one. We'll go.
Okay.
We'll go further.
So you guys circle around, and you enter the gate, and the first thing you see when you enter the gate is a small pouch just lying on the side, like at the gate. It's just a clean brown pouch.
I'll pick it up.
Pick it up.
Okay, 6. You reach down as one of the leaders. You reach down and pick it up, and it jingles. There's coin in here.
There's how many coins are in there?
When you open it up and count it out, there's 10 gold.
My ears perk up.
10 gold, everybody. 10 gold pieces.
That was just
Who
sitting
wants it?
there. That's
How many
some
people
I
are
was
in the
just
party?
sitting there.
lucky stuff. I wonder where that came from.
Yeah, it's a little suspicious, right?
You wanna share that with your other traveling companion here? And he kind of points at himself.
I toss the bag at him, and I look around, trying to see if potentially we're standing on a big red X.
he grabs it and he says, "Thanks."
Before we get there completely,
Yeah.
I would have asked the dwarf dude if he knew whose shirt this was.
He looks at you in the big old baggy shirt. Says, "No clue." And 6, why don't you roll me a perception check?
Awesome. I rip it off.
Alrighty.
Okay, you're shirtless again.
What the fuck?
Menon
shirt
is
is not
there's a
Percy's
puddle underneath Menon between the gold out of nowhere and you just ripping your shirt off.
I look
6,
at him and go,
with that roll, you look around expecting a trap, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't really see anything that would allude to a trap. So I mean, there are rooftops nearby.
Okay.
You don't there's not arrows whizzing at you or anything, so you think
Okay.
you're in the clear.
Let's take a look around, see if maybe someone dropped something else. I'll do another check here, maybe.
Percy's like, well, man, and I'm not into that.
Why don't you roll investigation this time then?
Investigation, copy.
paste.
Okay.
Yeah. not really.
Yeah, you can't really find any signs of a trap being set up. And you don't find anything
Okay.
else just strewn about. Just the regular rubble.
Curious. All right. Let's keep going.
Okay. So you guys continue on. And so you just gave Astromir the 10 gold?
I tossed him the bag.
Yeah. So he
I
has it.
didn't say he could have all of it. All
Well, when you tossed him the bag, were you meaning for him to just take?
I mean, do what he wants with it. Divvy
Right.
up what-
He pockets the bag.
Okay.
And he says, he's like, man, with this much gold, I might be able to get myself a little upgrade at the smithy. This will be good. You guys visited the
All
smithy
right.
yet?
Do you just
Not
refer to
yet.
something as the smithy?
Yeah, good old Georgie. He's good with metals.
I don't know why, but I'm suddenly disappointed in you.
Alrighty, that's fine by me.
He's like, damn, just like my mom.
You sound a lot like
What
my
is
father
the-
right now.
What,
Are you my real dad?
Sucks to suck. I never knew my parents.
It's okay, Dad.
At one point, I might have.
Hey, 6, what were you trying to say?
sorry. I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay. So you guys, after this, you're able to reach Zimmer's place without issue. I'll bring you over there now. You head down the halls and find it pretty much exactly as you left it.
Alrighty.
And you find here. I'll give you your tokens here in one moment.
Oh, there's a
Yes.
dead guy here. Oh.
Yep, and Zimmer's body is just laying there, starting to decay by the trapdoor.
This is
Oh,
the
I
first time
wonder
I've seen this.
Could have
So-
done that.
Oh
Great.
god.
Oh, this is your first time seeing it.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it's fucking horrific. Just skin peeled off and blood pooling all over it, and
Percy comes instantly.
it's pretty fucked.
Hey,
Fucking
Well,
hot.
there's the
dwarf
door.
man.
Yeah, that's
I did that.
Waiting up here.
okay. So Sam, not wanting to help, is gonna head up. Let me give let me.
not wanting to look at Zelf.
At the
Okay,
corpse.
so
yeah.
here is Astromir.
I did that.
He looks at the body and looks at you and says, that's some handiwork. What'd you do that for?
You wanted to know the real reason?
Did you get the answers you were looking for?
You want to know the real reason I did that?
The way you say that, I'm afraid I don't, but let's
I
hear it.
I pull out and cast message, so only he hears it.
Okay, give me one moment. Let me pull you
I
into...
shit pants.
Honestly, just because I wanted to.
And he responds to your message saying, you're a strange fella. That's it.
Right, Blake?
And you're a Wayne Della, I say out loud. With
Yeah.
No context.
He says he nods at
Wayne
you and looks to
Stella?
the rest of the party that's still down here and says, you got an odd friend here. Is that the trap door? That one there. He points to it.
No, the other one.
Yes.
All right.
I kind of look at him like he's stupid.
He rolls his eyes and heads
No.
over to the
No,
trapdoor.
it's this one.
He says,
I don't know what Zelker's talking about.
God, could I hate to ask, but could one of you move the body? This is real distracting. It smells pretty bad.
Zelker?
No.
I
Once
could-
you
Yes.
said it's not much use
I'll
to
go
me.
ahead and move the corpse.
Okay. It's
'Cause our
quite
fucking
disgusting, but you move it
man-child
over.
won't do it for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
You make the mess, you clean it up.
That was not part of the deal.
In Astromir kind of shakes his head. God, it still smells, but okay. I'll see what I can do here. This might be a minute, if that's
Or
all
10.
right. Yeah, or 10. Yeah,
We-
exactly. He first. Yep. You imagine it takes exactly. He takes 10 minutes. He's concentrating carefully, and
I
eventually.
stand next to him and point at him for the entire 10
As per your token. Yeah. He and you stand next to him. And eventually after about 10 minutes or so, he examines the trapdoor, opens it, and just sees there's floor beneath and he says, "Oh boy, okay. That doesn't help. Well, I hate to break it to you, but there's no traces of magic here. Are you sure this is the one?
Yeah.
I've
If you
studied
want
the
to
arcane for quite some time. Stronger magics, they usually leave some form of, some trace,
gonna
even
duck down and-
minor.
All right.
I would duck down and try to like open it and close it like multiple times, looking at it.
You're just looking at a floor underneath it. He says, "I can try something else if you give me about an hour."
All right,
Okay.
let's try that. If that doesn't work, we'll head to the castle. We
Okay.
can see the point of origin here.
Understood. And he takes an hour. After an hour and maybe 5 minutes or so, he sits back, a little exhausted, and sighs, and he says, I'm sorry, there's nothing here."
Okay, to the castle.
Alrighty. And he, Manon is just lost for words.
What?
Alright, let me get our tokens here. And Astromir. I'll take you guys to the castle. What are you trying to show him at the castle?
I will show him first of all the where the portal opened. First time when what's his name went through it, and then take him down in the basement, show him where we found the artifact. Tell him to hold his breath, obviously,
Okay.
and see if he can tell us anything then.
Okay. You guys, you head to the castle. Get there with no issue. I'll bring you you first check out the throne room, and the first thing that really catches your eye, the first thing you walk in the castle, is the large stairs that once led to the portal. The first portal are gone. And Astromir says, "Is that the room over there?"
Wait, gone as in smashed out?
No,
or
just
vanished?
gone. There's no trace. And upon further inspection, there's just a pile of dust that's reminiscent of the dust from the dust plane. He
I
said,
pocket it.
"Okay, you have some dust plane dust.
Pocket dust.
Pocket dust."
That is the plan, actually. Thanks,
And
Isaac.
he
Yeah, no problem.
he walks up and says, "This is the place." Yeah.
This is the place.
Mm.
There was a set of stairs here, just as
over-
of yesterday.
Where?
Right here, and
Yeah,
I
you
motion.
point- yep. He says, "Where that dust is." Okay.
Yeah,
I've been informed that
That
you went
dust
to a
seems-
strange dust-like plane. That makes sense.
yes.
Some would call it the
entire
plane of
plane.
dust.
All right. Give me a moment. And he walks over and kind of, he touches the dust and lets it fall from his hand and make a roll. That dice fell. I don't know where that went. Okay. Ooh, not bad.
I'm the one. I am the one. Like you on the
Okay. So he examines the dust and he starts to you see his hand. He kind of hovers his hand over the dust and it starts to his hand starts to glow a bit and he goes, "Okay, I think I understand. I have a theory, but there's no way for me to prove it, and I
Is
don't
it a
think you'll
game
like
theory?
it." A game theory.
Thanks.
He turns to you guys. He kind of crouches down. He's crouching down by the dust. He turns to you and says, "Here's what I'm thinking. Whatever portal was here that you're mentioning, it's It's vanished.
Gone?
Right? It's
Wow.
gone. But the thing is, this dust is still here. And I would tell you got to the plane yourself, but not through this portal. How'd you get in?
To another portal.
Yeah.
Through
we show
another
'em where-
portal that
where
did it
that portal
appear? Was
So,
it?
made it appear, yes.
We explain about
Yeah.
Dusty and
I cry a
having
little bit.
Dusty touch the thing. Yeah.
I miss you, Dusty.
What happened there?
I had one more question. Did the light that you touched the good old he looks himself for that you sacrificed Dusty to?
He nods.
Did it hurt to the touch?
I think it did. Didn't you stick your tongue in it, Zelfer?
It didn't taste good.
I
think
don't
it
want to know.
burned him a bit. Yes.
It would have
Believe.
if I wasn't as strong as I am. Kind of fluxes a little bit.
I've read of interplanar travel, and it sounds like you went to the dust plane. It's not very written about.
Oh shit, Sherlock.
It's not very written about, but I've heard of it, and I think
No, for someone who's never read anything about the dust plane, would one refer to it as Dusty?
I would think so.
Then I think we went there.
Okay.
I do concur with your hypothesis.
Well, here's the thing.
Can you send us
I don't
back?
know how, but for some reason, or why, for some reason, our
Or
planes are
when?
intersecting, I think. And maybe it has something to do with the hysterium. I don't know what's going on, but I think possibly the hysterium is causing the dust plane, the portal. Was it blue?
Oh shit.
Yes.
Now,
Might be me.
okay, if it was blue, were the lights that you touched it, these lights, they were blue as well, yeah?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That they were purple, guys.
Oh,
Wait, no.
Purple.
They were. Yeah,
The portal was blue.
The
You're
portal
right.
was blue, the lights were purple.
The lights were purple. Right.
That's right.
It's kind of important. It says, okay,
Oh yeah, the lights were blue.
No.
I remember.
listen, I think somehow the hysterium is acting as some sort of negative conduit, and it's connecting our plane with the dust plane. The dust plane is made up of negative energy. It feeds on our positive energy here in the material plane, and I think somehow they intersected, and when they did, it caused an opening and a rift. So when you touch that dust plane material to the hysterium material, it seems to have, it must have opened a rift and let you guys in. So what we need to do...
Wait. Are you saying
Need
that a hole was torn in our reality by bad vibes?
I'm saying that a gateway was opened, a connection, like a wormhole was opened, connecting the two in a more physical way that allowed you to pass into the other plane. I don't know, that's the best theory I've got so far. It's the only way I can explain
So
you
how
guys
can
traveling there without some strong
How
magic.
can we replicate that?
We'd have to find something belonging to the dust plane. And I don't know
Like
that
this
this dust will do. We could try, but I'm not too confident
I
about
take a
that.
handful of dust.
Okay.
Haven't I
Just in case.
already given up enough that I have to give up my pocket dust?
And then perhaps we need to have it make contact with hysterium or something of strong positive energy, and maybe fire.
Ooh, I can do
That's
that.
not Zelfer.
No.
Strong positive energy and Zelfer don't.
Or maybe
So,
somebody
well,
who's just like really happy. I don't
Such a me thing.
It's becoming
well-
increasingly less possible.
There's a lot of hysterium in the basement.
I can give me a second. I'm gonna go off to myself, like outside of the room, far enough away that no one can hear me.
Okay.
Hey, got it. It's me again.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of be on my knees, very uneasy. Good night, mother.
And all at once, your vision goes black.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh.
Bye, guys.
You called.
Well, we're trying to get to the dust plane.
I see.
Mainly because we're supposed to rescue someone and whatnot. Not really my forte. But it keeps my friends happy, and if my friends are happy, I can do more damage. You catch my drift.
I like the way you think.
So, if you could help in happen to let us find something that would allow this to be easier, just by the luck of nature, things can go a little bit better, and we both win, right?
I believe we do. You would like for me to cause these planes to intersect. That could be good.
Cool.
Does that mean I have your allegiance? Your allegiance.
What all does that entail? Can you give me answers?
Perhaps. For chaos and destruction.
Oh, I can do both of those things.
A fine champion you will be.
And then, but one catch.
Hmm?
Can't harm my friends.
A simple bargain. That can be arranged.
Sounds good.
There's
Cool.
one matter left. When you awake, you might feel a slight stinging sensation.
All right, sounds good.
Okay. Zelfer, when you
Okay.
come to, your arm, your forearm, like by your wrist, the entirety of your forearm burns.
I look at it, I poke it, go, ha!
And when you take a look at it, there is a branding, a burn mark in the shape of a curling snake.
Huh. I pull my cloak up and go, well, that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. And then as you pull your cloak up, you go to grab your cloak, and all of a sudden, there's something in your hand.
And you're dead. You died.
Call
What
it
is
an
my
old
hand?
friend.
It's another.
Dusty! I run back. Menon!
Huh?
I
What?
figured out how to make you like me again. And I hold out Dusty.
Where, how,
I got it back. Do you like me again? Everything okay now? We all good?
how did,
I got it back.
And Astamir at this point comes over and is like, where did you... What is that?
I got it back. I got Dusty.
Where did you... I thought you said it was destroyed.
I said it was gone.
Oh.
Did you have it
Where'd you
this whole
find it,
time?
Zelfer?
No, I didn't have it. That'd be ridiculous. I just knew how. I
Where-
figured I had a guess how to get it back, and I got it back.
What was your guess? This could be important.
Well, when I was left alone with Zimmer, I was able to get some answers out of him for me.
Go on.
No, I got the thing back. I looked to Benin. I hand her Dusty.
It is
Take
spewing
go
out
on.
dust.
No.
Very hesitantly, but take
So
it.
Benin likes me again.
Yep.
He
And
just has a
as you
cute
take
smile.
it, the dust it, it spews out seems to it burns your hand just a little bit. It's just it feels like it's really hot,
Ah, shit.
but you're not gonna take damage immediately.
Yeah. I'll just kind of like lightly hot
What the fuck?
potato
What-
it between my
What
hands.
is this noise?
What is
Stop.
what the fuck was that? Who was making that noise?
I think it was Isaac.
It was not me.
Jason, what the fuck was that? Okay.
I was saying it burns.
It burns. It burns. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Jason,
like
you fucked this up, my guy.
I'm gonna lightly
Sorry.
like hot potato it between my hands.
Okay.
Just
No, what else you can hot potato between your hands?
Could you not?
No.
Like any other time would be extremely welcome, but could you not?
I'm no expert with the ladies, but this doesn't quite seem like the time.
Oh no, it's not. It was just a joke.
It was funny.
Nobody in your fleet seems to take those very well.
No, I wouldn't call us a fleet either, but that's fine.
Okay.
Zelfer, is
Hey
it?
guys.
Zelfar?
Posse?
Yes.
Zelfir,
Zelfa.
Zelfa.
If you call me wrong again, I will remove my nipples.
Zelpo.
That would be impressive. What can you tell? What can you tell us about your dealings with this Zimmer fella? If you have answers, if you have anything that can give us a clue as to, what happened, maybe we can go about this a bit more strategically.
No, I'll be honest with you.
I'd prefer that.
I took a shot in the dark and it worked.
What was that shot?
What I did?
What?
I don't know what I did.
What do you mean
but
you
it
don't?
worked. No, you'll have to understand one thing about me is I cannot replicate 90% of what I do.
He's gonna roll insight on you. So
fuck.
I would like for you to roll deception or persuasion based on the situation.
Okay.
And don't tell me which one, but I'm sure you know.
Well, I mean,
Oh, well, I guess the party has to see, huh? Because roll 20.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so go ahead and just roll it.
I mean, can I roll it so no one can see it?
I don't know that you... I bet there's a command to secretly roll. Just for the DM to see. I bet there is, but I don't...
It's like slash, hang on.
Is it
it's
slash...
in the macro section.
Yeah.
Slash hang on.
Macro quick bar.
I mean,
Like,
are the players allowed to roll insight as well?
If you'd like. If you feel like you would not believe Zelfer saying this.
I definitely wouldn't because he said that
Are
he
you
was
there?
left alone.
I was
Yeah,
left alone.
I'm
with
in the
Zelfer.
fucking room.
Okay.
I
You
remember
just-
being in the room with him with the fucking crazy dude.
You just
You
haven't
left.
said anything this whole time, so I didn't know if you were like you were guarding the front entrance or...
But didn't Big Boy leave at the end?
Yes, I was by myself towards the end of it.
Yeah.
After he was dead.
No, he was not dead
when you left.
when you left that room.
He was not.
it's slash W is whisper, and then if you want to whisper to the GM, you type slash W space GM space, and then your message.
And then you can roll via that. So yeah, slash W. Yeah, okay. And then just roll the d20 and add your modifier yourself, I guess. Would be the easiest way to do this.
Did that work?
That did not work.
Oh no, I didn't type roll.
I just see a message from
Wow.
6, 1d4.
Whisper GM. Okay. Slash roll.
Rip.
G.
Not rip.
There was an error. Interesting.
How about this, Holden?
You can just roll it if you want. Okay, yeah, perfect. That'll do.
Now no one knows.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
That should have a +2. This is the only thing that's missing.
Yeah. Okay. Astromir kind of looks you up and down. You see him kind of like trying to gauge you. And he says, okay, I guess we're going to have to trust you on this.
I look back at him and go, trust me, I would never want to lead my friends into any danger.
Was Reginald your friend?
I have no clue who he is.
Alrighty.
He was mine.
Now, you said there was a Hysterium downstairs, yeah?
Correct.
I suppose that means we head down there and open a new portal if we can.
Yes.
Would
let's go.
you like to lead the way?
Who?
Anyone? Mr. Zelf?
Yes, I lead the
Zelfar.
way.
All right, 6
No,
leads
no,
the way
no, no.
down. Okay, you guys.
Time's wasting, guys. This
You,
guy might
you guys
die.
head down to the basement, into the familiar irony smell of the Hysterium haze. Zelfer, at the party, what are you guys doing?
I am looking for purple clouds.
There's one. If you recall, you enter the dungeon, and immediately to your right, there's a room with some pretty heavy Hysterium haze in it.
I keep waving
Okay.
at Menon, hoping that she likes me again.
I move toward that room. Seems like as good a place as any.
Astromir follows.
Anyone? Any thoughts?
I'm okay with whatever you choose to do. I mean, 6, as you can see, I did my best to get us the toy back.
You've done. You have accomplished that. Thank you. What did you do last time? Just thrust your hand into the cloud?
Oh, you want to see what I did last time?
Men is currently holding the Dusty.
Menon, may I have Dusty?
Just gonna like arm's length put it in his hand.
Hoo-hoo! Dusty, dusty, dusty. I start singing and spinning in a circle until I get to the Hysterium cloud. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna hold Dusty real close and go, Dusty, it's been nice to see you again, but it's time for you to return home. And then I'm gonna put him into the fucking Hysterium cloud.
Okay. I would like everyone. The Hysterium
Fingers
cloud I'm talking
crossed.
about is over here on the right. Oh, wrong one. Let's head over here. I would like everyone to show me where your tokens are as we're following Sulfur over.
Okay. There we are.
Astromir is following close behind.
Okay.
So the cloud is like over here is where it's most concentrated. He's following close behind you.
Oof.
Sam's guarding the rear. Six is guarding the other way. Menon and Percival kind of just standing off at the entrance of this room. Okay.
Yeah, I'll closer now.
Okay.
Make sure there's nothing
Zelfer,
coming that way.
You say your goodbyes to Dusty, and you reach your hand into the Hysterium haze, which starts to burn a little bit. And then I need the 3 within this line to make a dex saving throw.
Is that including
Ooh.
me?
And that includes you.
Dex saving throw, you say?
A dexterity
I'm
saving
bad
throw.
at those.
Okay.
You're bad at a lot of things, bruh.
I'm trying to
Oh.
make her like
Oh.
me again.
Oh.
Oof.
6 failed decks.
Very
What?
badly.
Unfortunately, I didn't get
Okay.
what is it, dodge or whatever this
So Zelfer, you reach your hand in with the artifact, and all of a sudden, just like before, there's a large blue light that streams out at you, and a burst of energy that hits you, and all 3 of you are knocked back 15 feet. 6, you land on your back, and the wind is knocked out of you, and you are all going to take.
Okay.
You're going to take 9 bludgeoning damage from the fall, and you are knocked on your
Oh,
back,
shit.
and you're all knocked prone, and 6 has the wind knocked out of him. Not ready for Zelfer to do that.
I told him I was gonna do it.
9 points.
And
Okay.
once again, there is a glowing blue portal.
Man, I did it again. Man, do you see?
Amongst the haze.
Run! I pick myself up and dash at it.
I walk in calmly after getting myself up.
Okay.
Wait, I'll run to it as well.
Before that, Percy nudges man and goes, "You got a dog now."
Dog butt.
As you all are kind of just like casually walking in or running in, Masterman's like, wait, shouldn't we,
Nope, come again.
Okay.
This way.
He goes through.
He starts moaning.
And he turns to Percy, and Sam's like, shouldn't we should probably think about what, we don't know where this is,
I'd rather not enter.
I don't blame you. We could, what about you, big guy? What are you doing?
I'm definitely not running into that thing.
What about the other big guy?
That's you, Percy.
Would be good.
Sorry, the wind knocked a fucking thing down, and I'm trying to figure out what fell because it scared the living shit out of me. Oh,
There's the portal has opened up, and half your party has run in, and Astronaut's like, are we,
I say we just, walk in. Why not? I've
uh,
already been there once. We can do it again.
I suppose you could.
So watch this. I say walking in.
Okay,
For a
and
second.
you disappear into the portal. And Astromir looks at you, saying, like, they're all insane, right?
Yep.
Estamir goes, haha, it was me, Zimmer, the whole...
Shouldn't we? Actually, nobody else is here to hear this. I'm gonna take him to Secret Secrets real quick. He says, shouldn't we go get backup, or?
So this is where I'm at a new moral dilemma, Holden.
You don't want to go with.
Because Sam would not enter that portal.
Mhm.
Because he doesn't owe the Rangers anything. He
Yes.
doesn't have to find what's their faces. He only did it the first time in hopes that they could provide him information, and they told him that they can't.
Yeah.
So now he has no reason to go and find their lost friend.
Other than, being with the party, being with his friends, question mark?
Yeah, but in that sense, he'd rather just sit here and wait for them to come back.
If that's what you'd like to do.
So I don't know how I'm trying to think of how I'm trying to roleplay this.
I can tell you right now, this is going to be a bit meta, but they probably won't be in there too long unless they really fuck up.
Okay. Well, then Sam's just gonna stay on this side,
Okay.
and he'll go with Astromir to find backup, to bring backup back, but he won't go in himself.
Okay. All right.
Like the feeling.
And for the rest of you, as you guys one by one enter the portal, just storm on in. That same familiar feeling of actually, I need each of you to roll a wisdom saving throw that had entered the
What
portal.
if I don't want
Oh
it?
boy. Oh boy. Well, did it work? I clicked it.
I rolled it. Hello, Mr. Obama.
Oh, there it is. Wow. Nice though.
All right, Percy and Menon, wisdom saving throws, please.
Oh shit. Is it not rolling?
No, I don't see anything.
How about that one?
That worked.
How do you have a +7 to wisdom save, Percy? That's all.
Okay.
I mean, not Percy, Zelfer.
I'm
I was
proficient.
gonna say what?
That's awesome.
Yeah, you should
I'm
have a
pl-
plus
I
3.
can only do. I can only do 2 things well for saves: intelligence and wisdom.
Okay. So, Percy
Oh, I
and
don't have anything.
Menon,
Percy.
you experienced something very similar to what happened last time you went to the portal. You're absolute dazed and confused, and you don't understand what's going on. Time has no meaning, and then sudden, all at once, you're next to your friends and the dust plane. As for Six and Zelfer, though, this time going in, you remember what happened last time, and that confusion and that sense of that senselessness of time, kind of you remember it and you recall it, and you're able to kind of control it a little bit. You feel as though you're in control this time, and you calmly pass through. A bit, it's still jarring, it's still odd, and it's still very. You're taken aback, but you feel more in control this time, and you find yourselves next to your friends in the dust plane. You all look around and see each other in this familiar space, the dust immediately hitting your face and all the memories of it coming back and burning just a little bit. You look around, everyone's there but Sam, and Astromir is not with you either. And that's where we're going to end for the night.